All right, our audio should be coming in now.
All right, you can go ahead and start while I keep passing around links.
Nice, nice. What's going on, dear viewers? Your gracious host, Kaine Walker, back with another episode of the Monkey's Paw, episode 56, where we document the downfall of mainstream Western entertainment. I'm joined by my co-host, Soups. How you doing tonight, bro?
Doing all right.
Nice, nice. You know, believe it or not, there's been a good bit of gaming news to come out. Well, I guess like maybe what 4 topics. I consider that pretty good. I guess there could be more, but it's enough to talk about. Um, and 2 of them are actually pretty in depth. Um, Unfortunately, with the way the entertainment landscape is looking, we know the song and dance by now. Almost none of it is good news, but it makes for great conversation at the very least. So we're gonna go over it tonight. I do want to ask though, how many times have you heard the story of a developer turning on their customer base at this point? Like how many times?
Are we talking just video games or are we talking in general?
Just in general, bro. Just at all. How many times?
Ooh, boy. How many nickels would that be now?
I have no idea, bro. We'd have it. We'd be up at least a couple $100,000 at this point. At least.
Uh,
Hey, what about this one? A brand new game comes out and it automatically receives 10 out of 10s despite the audience reception. Have you heard that one before? What about that one? You heard that one
uh,
before? Does that sound new to you?
I mean, I can name. Well, that one. It sounds like we could name at least 5.
More than that, bro. But yeah, that's pretty much what everyone's been talking about for the past couple weeks. Sepis going to be straight ass. I know it. That's crazy. That's wild. I thought you were supposed to be our hater. But anyway, I'm gonna
I
just
think
go
he's
ahead.
saying. I think he's saying that our takes are gonna be straight up ass.
They're probably gonna. I mean, to him, everything we do is ass to him. But anyway, let me just go ahead and get into the first topic because I think most of y'all already know what I'm about to be talking about. But yeah, so like we're gonna go ahead and talk about mixtape. You know, the thing that is definitely a video game and not a movie trying to be a video game. Shit, it's not even trying to be a video game. It's a movie with a controller. Anyway,
So like a
people
Telltale game.
a Telltale game. I think Telltale games might actually be better, but I mean, yeah, they're still basically just a movie with a controller. Decision based game. But anyway, obviously this game's AstroTurf. It's received 10 out of 10 out of 10 for being one of the greatest games ever, the most memorable experience ever, the most interactive experience ever. And clearly that's not the case with people releasing entire videos of them beating large portions of the game without pressing a single button. You can't fail in anything. and as from Heel versus Babyface managed to break the game without pressing a single button. It was actually quite funny to see. Um,
We gotta love as. If it's between this and Starfield rant, you just gotta love.
bro, how many times we've seen this? Like IGN will do some stupid shit, like they'll give The Last of Us 2 like a 10 out of 10, and they'll give a game like Elden Ring a 6 or some shit or a 7. That specific example hasn't didn't happen, but they'll do stuff like that. Like they gave mixtape a 10 out of 10, but I think they gave Subnautica 2 a fucking 7 for having too much water. Like what the
Too much water.
too much water. And don't get me fucking wrong, right? Don't get me wrong. We're gonna be talking about Subnautica 2 as well, but at least the community is honest enough to say that Subnautica 2 is a vastly better video game than fucking mixtape, especially since it is a video game, even with the things we're about to talk about. It's just weird, right? We're gonna get into the article. we're gonna see what they're doing to run defense from this for this video game quotation marks, right? This is gonna be from Aftermath. They have Blue Sky. I'm just gonna move past that. All this over mixtape. The manufactured controversy has grown far bigger than the game itself.
How many times have we heard manufactured controversy?
I have no idea, bro. Too much. 10 out of 10 for brain dead gaming experiences. Fucking kill me. Yo, Vid, you were supposed to be on
Oh,
tonight, bro. I messaged you about being on. I want to hear your take about mixtape, the greatest game of our generation, bro. I gotta hear it,
the greatest game of our generation.
bro. You didn't hear, bro.
That's the
You
peak
never,
gaming experience, apparently.
you never heard, bro. This is game of the year. You don't know?
Game of the year.
This is game of the year, bro.
Game of the year. What about game of the decade?
Bro, China's gonna give this 100,000 votes. It's gonna win. It's gonna sweep the gaming awards.
It's gonna be the best game of the modern century. Watch.
He said, "I'm gonna manufacture some controversy." That's crazy. Excuse me, I gotta go to the bathroom and drop a mean mixtape. Okay, I'm done. All right. All right.
Oh, it's
I'm
great.
gonna start reading the article now. Everyone is talking about mixtape, an ode to the idea of nostalgia that nonetheless feels rooted in a very specific kind of white guy's teenage experience. What? To many, this
Wait.
discourse, I don't know what they're trying to say with that. I'm not gonna lie. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, wait, that what was that last bit with the white teenage guy? What?
Everyone is talking about mixtape, an ode to the idea of nostalgia that nonetheless feels rooted in a very specific kind of white guy's teenage experience.
So it's a kind of exaggerated swagger of a white teenage guy.
I don't even know what they're saying. I don't understand why they're saying that because excuse me. I'm pretty sure the majority of the characters are female and like there's like the chicks have the most like relevance to the plot. So again, I have no idea what that's supposed to mean. From what I've seen, like the chicks have the most relevance to the plot. So like I I don't even know how to receive or react to that statement, but we're just gonna go ahead and gloss over it. To many, this discourse seems like it came out of nowhere. No, it didn't come out of nowhere. A game dropped, people played it, they said it was ass. That's kind of how it works. That's how entertainment works. You release a product, people are free to discuss said product. What do you mean the discourse came out of nowhere? What is that? Wait, like, bro, my God, bro. Some of these comments are just brain dead. The discourse seems like it came out of nowhere. Are you fucking serious? Like, anyway, but in truth,
That's
it's go ahead.
that's another repeated. That's another repeat pattern we get a lot. Is this controversy seems to have been come out of nowhere. All these negative comments, they don't. They just don't seem natural.
Oh shit! I just read Vidge's comment. My bad. I'm sorry to hear that, bro. But yeah, I wanted you to be up here to talk about for our next gaming segment, especially since there was some good stuff to talk about. You know, we'll have other gaming segments, so don't you worry. I'm sure some more. Honestly, I hope something good drops so I can fucking play something. I was hoping Subnautica 2 would be good, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Um, da-da-da. But yeah, seems to come out of nowhere. But in truth, it's a continuation of several interminable cycles that, by being in the wrong place at the wrong time, this game just happened to serve as a lightning rod for. Again, I don't know what that means. I mean, if by interminable cycle, you mean exactly what I just described, in which you make a shit game, you put it out, people play it and say it's shit. Like, that's a cycle as old as gaming itself. Mixtape is not the first game to receive this.
Probably not gonna be the last either.
Bro, the worst games of 2008 are better than Mixtape. And those things got just as much hate. Nah, just as much hate. if not more. Probably more because standards in 2008 were way higher. Motherfuckers were spoiled because of good content. But anyway, there are multiple separate but
Yeah, I was
overlapping. Go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say, like, even just taking video games out of the equation, we used to be very critical of movies too back in 2008.
Yeah, the
Mo-
media landscape was like rife with golden age content of all kinds, bro. Go ahead.
no, that's it. You can continue.
No. Okay. There are multiple separate but overlapping mixtape discourses unfolding, but at the risk of flattening the broader landscape, they break down more or less as follows. Glowing reviews of the game and its Gen X friendly soundtrack on traditional websites like IGN and GameSpot. In reaction to those reviews, a series of wildly divorced from reality conspiracy theories on
Oh, the conspiracy
boy,
theorists are
old
back at it again.
old reliable. Tell me again how well this game sold. Let me see them sales numbers. Bro, wasn't this game backed by a
Oh.
billionaire? Anyway. In reaction to those reviews, a series of wildly divorced from reality conspiracy theories on Twitter and YouTube about how mixtape is an industry plant that sprang from the scheming hands of Megan Ellison, daughter of hyper conservative multi billionaire tech and media magnate Larry Ellison. Bro,
How many more titles can you add on to that? Jesus.
they're trying to obscure the fact that she's a Nepo baby that got funded by billionaire daddy to make a shit game.
Wow.
Like that's exactly what happened. That's not even a conspiracy theory. You can look that up. Like that's publicly available knowledge. What the fuck are you talking about? You can't fool the public, bro. You can't. Literally, IGN and GameSpot gives a game a 10 out of 10, and all motherfuckers have to do to test their gangster is play the fucking game. That's it. It's as easy as doing the fucking research, and hundreds of people have already done it. It's trash. There is no conspiracy theory. There is no conspiracy, period. It's just ass. There's no theory, bro. It's trash. Like they're trying to make it seem like people are crazy when we have the evidence right in front of us. How many people have we seen play this game at this point and literally hold their hands up like they're being held at gunpoint and let the game play itself? You remember how way back in the day we literally said they just want games to play themselves, and here we fucking are. Conspiracy theorists win again. Like, what are you talking about?
It's like it feels like in every kind of medium, the conspiracy theories just be winning. Movies, games, comics, politics. Oh shit.
Bro, it's
Conspiracy theories ain't losing yet, man.
Bro, it's not even conspiracy theories, bro. Half the shit people be discussing nowadays is just looking at publicly available information and, deducing other things based upon that. This isn't the
I
first
know, but
time what'd you say?
I know, but I'm just saying, but for some reason, these people like to call simple research conspiracy searching.
Yeah, conspiracy theories. Like, and that's not being a conspiracy theorist isn't even a bad thing. Like, why are people not allowed to question the circumstantial evidence of past events? Why are they not allowed to do that? Why are they labeled crazy for doing that? It doesn't even make sense. This is just another ploy to demonize critical thinking, especially anything that has to deal with the government or historical events. It's actually quite insane. And I know critical thinking has never been popular, but Jesus, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just for the
yeah,
just
like
for
even
the
take
Go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say like even taking politics out of it, critical thinking, like the critical thinkers in like fandoms always get the harsh treatment. They always get the boot. Either they get the boot from the fans, or they get like or communities, or they just like you said get demonized or just get drowned out. God
Yeah,
forbid you
like
have a support. It's like when they the hot takes. It's like the hot take
I
discussion.
was literally about to say that. You read my fucking mind. I was literally about to talk about hot takes. I fucking hate you. Continue, because I have something to add to that. Continue.
No, no, I was segueing that back to you when I said hot takes. It's like hot takes. You can say something that seems controversial to a majority, but really it's just genuine criticism.
I was literally just gonna say this is where the concept of hot takes come from, right? Where you'll have like an opinion that most people agree with, and then there's the one person who actually takes the time to like hold it up to scrutiny, and then it turns out actually that's not true at all. You know what I mean? Like somebody had a hot take about Naruto recently about Kakashi Hatake not really being one of the best copycat characters because like you never really see him copy any original jutsus or anything. You see him make original jutsus or you see him use basic jutsus that you would learn as a fucking like what is it called tuning? Yeah, like you never see him
We're talk-
copy. You never see him copy somebody's shit one for one. And
outside of
then
the
what
aside
you say?
aside from the first arc and the when he's fighting Zabuza, not
Mm-hmm.
really. Yeah, he doesn't actually copy a lot of people's techniques when he was supposed to be the copycat ninja. And technically, everyone that's with a Sharingan is basically a copycat ninja. I don't know why Kakashi was the only one given the title of the copycat ninja when
See, you're adding
Sasuke
more
also
shit.
did it too
You're
with the
add you're
Sharingan.
adding you're adding more shit on top of his fucking moniker being fraudulent. That's crazy. I mean, so yeah, you see the point. Like like
Yeah, yeah.
that's a real hot take. A hot take isn't just somebody's shitty opinion. Like a hot take. I think Subnautica 2 is actually good. No, or not even that. I like that you can't kill anything in Subnautica. Like, bruh, that's not a hot take. That's just trash. Like that's you being a contrarian. A hot take is Nero was never supposed to be Virgil's son. That's a hot take because it's
Like
something
a
that the
hot take is
fandom
supposed to be
wanted.
something. It's like a hot take is like something you can actually argue in like argue about. Like you can
Yeah,
actually, well, you can actually
it's
make a
not.
discussion out of it.
Yeah, it's not something that's said deliberately to anger people. It's an argument that you know will anger people, but actually has fucking credence. It actually has proof behind it. Like it's not just rage bait, which is very transparent. Like rage bait is very, very, very transparent, bro. There's very
Yeah,
little.
rage.
Go ahead.
No, I was just following what you were saying, saying like, yeah, rage bait comments tend to be like really, really obvious.
Yeah, like like there's very little facts to hold it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But let's see what else they're talking about because this conspiracy theory shit just is so stupid. But yeah, they're trying to obfuscate from the fact that Megan Ellison is a nepo baby. Like she's the daughter of a billionaire. That dude funded her game, and I think he bailed out her failing company at one point too. But don't quote me on that one. Anyway, game critics and game developers debating the game's merits via blogs and Blue Sky, often with a focus on the role of games criticism and mixtapes' universalization of what largely turns out to be the wistful sights and sounds of a specific race slash class background. Players of mixtape reviewing it on platforms like Steam, where 89% of user reviews are currently positive. But how many players is playing it though? Despite all the noise surrounding it. Drive-by comments around the game and the ills it supposedly represents have given rise to posts and videos with millions of views. Mixtape is against all odds, given that it's an indie coded game. Indie coded?
what does it mean by indie coded?
Niggas can't even say it's my bad. They can't even say it's an indie game or it's independent. They have to say it's indie coded because they know it's backed by a fucking billionaire. What do you mean indie coded? What does that mean?
Like
It's
I already
either
have a hard enough
indie.
time understanding why someone says coded, like after any other word.
It's either
But saying
indie
indie coded, that's a fuck. That's a new
code.
one for me, man.
Coded means it represents something, or it's supposed to be or represent something. Which most of the time, when people say something is coded, it's bullshit. They're substituting a reality they want. Like when they say Piccolo is black coded. What the fuck? Okay. The meme is funny, but motherfuckers actually believe that shit. They actually believe it, bro.
People actually believe Piccolo was black coded. I really thought that was just a meme.
No, they actually believe it. Darwin the fish from the Amazing World of Gumball is black coded somehow. Whatever. Anyway,
Ain't no fucking
I
way.
don't know, bro. It don't matter. I don't know. Anyway, indie coded is insane, diabolical work, bro. They can't even call it an independent project because they know, they know. Indie coded game that aspires more to vibes than groundbreak up the vibes. Where have we heard this
The
before?
vibes.
We're gonna lose $1 billion for the vibes. Actually, I don't know how much. I actually don't know the budget of this game, but I know it lost money. I know it lost a bunch of money
I
for the vibes.
I'm a considering how wait, let's compare I want to compare it to Concord. How much money was spent to make Concord happen?
Bro, I have no idea, but it was at least 100 million for Concord. At least I have to look it up. Can you
And
look
I was gonna say because I'm assuming this game. What's this game called again?
mixtape? Look up the budget for
Mix.
mixtape
Okay, let me
and
look up mixtape budget. Yeah.
then Concord. We're gonna compare them. I'm pretty sure they spent more money on Concord because it's Sony,
Let me see. Mixtape
but
video game budget.
man, I wish I was comfortable with losing millions or billions because of vibes. Exactly. Bro, do you know how low you
Wow, it's
gotta be to
actually
lose $1
really
billion and for it not to hurt? It just don't hurt, bro.
okay.
Do you
From
care?
what I'm looking up, right now, it's actually a much smaller game budget wise. It looks says it's like between 60 or 90,000.
For mixtape? Oh, that's actually a lot less than I thought.
Apparently,
I'm gonna give
I'm
them
gonna keep
points for
looking
that
in.
actually. I'm gonna give them points for that actually. 90,000. You don't need more than that to make a fucking video game. But then again, it's basically an animated movie, so you know, probably didn't need to spend that much.
Uh,
I was expecting them to spend like 90 million on mixtape. What was the budget for Dustborn? Because I know that shit was ridiculous.
Let me see. Let me look up Dustborn budget.
But nah, Concord easily clears that. Concord was easily way more than $90,000. But anyway,
Dustborn was around $4 million budget wise.
I expected more. I'm actually shocked. Still too much to make a video game. But Concord is definitely dwarfing both of those. You can fit both of those games inside Concord. Pause. But anyway, mixtape is against all odds, given that it's an indie coded game that aspires more to vibes than groundbreaking mechanics or any sort of genre redefining experience. The talk of the town, for all the wrong reasons, bro. The town is on fire. But today's internet is more fragmented than ever, so the mixtape discourse is really more like dozens of towns, each with their own dialects, steeped in unspoken histories, screaming past each other in an attempt to finally pin down where it all went wrong. In other words, it's another week in the video game industry. Oh, God.
Bruh.
The basic facts go a long way toward dispelling the cloud of hysteria that this game has unintentionally attracted. So let's start there. Mixtape is published by Annapurna Interactive, the indie games imprint of Annapurna Pictures. They're really gonna keep saying this shit is indie.
Imprint?
They're
Wait,
gonna
what does
keep.
it mean by indie games imprint?
I don't know, bruh. But it's still considered an indie studio, even though it has a fucking parent company. But okay, which was founded, yes, by Megan Ellison. This makes things at the very least complicated. Okay, if it's complicated, then it's not indie. In the past, Annapurna Pictures has taken money from Larry Ellison. A staunch supporter of Trump and Israel. Who cares? Why did you have to bring him up? What does that have to do with anything?
It's like, is that supposed to be the controversy that they took money from a guy who voted Trump,
I
or
don't
what?
know. No, the controversy surrounding the game is that one, it's ass. Two, it's called indie when it's backed by a billionaire. Nobody really gives a shit how her dad votes. I don't know why they brought that up. I don't know.
I think- So it sounds like the writer has a bit of a bone to pick with this game too,
I guess.
for a much different reason.
While Anna Perna's output and a few public stances suggest that Megan Ellison's views don't entirely align with those of her father, she is reportedly proven to be a temperamental, if hands off, boss. And when she intervened at Anna Perna Interactive a couple years ago, 25 people ended up resigning. She also executive
Wait,
produced.
wait,
Hmm?
wait, what?
When she intervened at Annapurna Interactive, sorry, that's a weird name. When she intervened at Annapurna Interactive a couple years ago, 25 people ended up resigning.
So the moment she walked in, 25 people quit. Wow.
Did you can still join? You still have the co-host role. I don't know if you're home or not, but you can still pull up whenever you can. But she also executive produced an Israeli documentary around a decade ago. Although this is obviously not the same as being one of the largest private funders of the Israeli Defense Force, which Larry Ellison is. Still, for some, this is at least an understandable point of contention. I don't know why any of that was brought up. I thought we were talking about mixtape. What does that have to do with mixtape? That said, Annapurna Interactive has published countless indie hits over the past decade. Oh, really? Let's see if I've heard of any of them.
Really?
Let's see if I've heard of any of them. What Remains of Edith Finch? Donut County, Outer Wilds. I've heard about Outer Wilds. I have no idea what it's about or whether or not it's good. I don't know. Sayonara Wild Hearts, Watam, Telling Lies, Kentucky Route Zero, Neon White. I think I've heard of Neon White. I think that was actually good. I think Stray, Skin Deep,
Wait,
and Mixtape.
isn't
Hmm?
Stray the one where you play as a cat?
Yeah, that. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't even know if that was good or not. I played it, but I mean, I give it a 5. Like it's barely again, it's
I
barely a video
I
game.
would I mean, I was gonna say because I know Stray did catch a lot of good feedback, but
It's still a walking
it's like
simulator, bro.
it's just not it was never my kind of game, so I never got around to playing it.
It's a walking simulator. Skin Deep and Mixtape developer Beethoven and Dinosaur's previous game, The Artful Escape. What's up, Vidge? I see you up here.
Oh, hey, bitch. Oh, wait, he left.
Can he talk on
Wait, no,
stage?
he's
Yeah,
back.
he's in the but he's in the audience. You're able to bring yourself on stage. I'm pretty sure I made you a co-host. Yeah. If you don't know how, I'm gonna invite you up to speak. There you go. I invited you to speak, Vid. You can click on the acceptance button. Yeah, invite to speak. There you go. It should be bringing you up. I wish I could just bring people
Bingo.
on stage. There
Bingo.
you go.
I got it. I got it. I got it.
There you go. All right.
Hey,
Welcome aboard.
Yo,
It's good. It's been a
long
while.
time no see.
The gang is back.
for the moment.
Yeah, for the moment.
For the
Don't you
moment.
don't you ruin this. Hold
I will find a way to ruin it, but go ahead.
up.
Uh, for the moment, for right now, I'm just listening right now. I'll share some thoughts when we finish.
Nah, I feel you. All right. That said, Annapurna Interactive. I already read that. Damn it.
Yeah,
Nobody
you already
accused.
read the list of games.
Yeah, nobody accused any of those games of being industry plants. So what changed? You know what changed? Do you know what fucking changed? A game that is obviously garbage getting 10s out of 10s from known hack reviewers. That's what changed. It's very easy to spot an industry plant, bro. It's called being overhyped when you haven't been here long enough to earn any. How the fuck is this game a 10 out of 10 compared to something like Devil May Cry 3? Are we fucking serious? This game is standing next to the likes of Devil May Cry 3. Get the fuck out of here, bro. That's one game. Go ahead.
I said we live in a weird time for gaming.
We do. We do.
We live. It's a bit of a backwards time for gaming in some sense.
Yeah. You can say that shit again. Boy. Foremost, the Gamergate 2.0. Why does Gamergate always... Anyway, foremost, the
Back at it again with the Gamergate.
The Gamergate 2.0 conspiracy engine is now a well-oiled machine. Conspiracy, bro. What the fuck? We don't think you sit in your lair secretly planning to make shit games, bro. You just release them. We know you're making them. It's not a secret. We don't have to conspire too much, bro.
You know what gets me? You know what gets me about the Gamergate thing?
What?
Nobody except these type of people ever actually started or freaking initiated. Like they accuse us regular gamers of kickstarting this Gamergate controversy, but really, they're the only ones who actually started it, and they're the ones who keep bringing it up.
I was there when this shit was being talked about. We tried to ignore that shit for so long until we just couldn't, because they started fucking up the game, so we couldn't ignore it anymore. We couldn't ignore the shit anymore, and it's so fucking irritating. And every chance they get, they have to bring up Gamergate again. These Karens yearn for another Gamergate so they can try to play victim again. Exactly. Nobody cares about Gamergate. We just want you to make a good video game, but motherfuckers asking for a good video game counts as a new Gamergate somehow. Like, it's just... We'll get into that some more once we get to talking about Subnautica 2. And there's a few other interesting points I want to make, by the way. Because they love saying shit like, y'all don't like anything. You're so negative. But we'll get to that. All right. Foremost, the Gamergate 2.0 conspiracy engine is now a well-oiled machine, and it requires a fresh helping of grievance-flavored fuel every week. Mixtape, which prior to release popped up in showcases here and there, but largely flew under the radar, which means nobody was fucking interested in the advertising. Flew under the radar. Somebody wanted to talk?
Nope, I didn't want to say anything.
Okay, I thought somebody...
It was just Vidge laughing in the background.
Oh, okay. Mixtape, which prior to release popped up in showcases here and there, but largely flew under the radar compared to AAA behemoths, landed last week to rave reviews, which the usual suspects on Twitter and YouTube immediately seized upon. Like, are they actually going to say what happened, or are they going to pretend that we're overreacting or something?
They're obviously pretending that we're overreacting. It's kind of... I got that vibe from the first paragraph.
Like, how many demonstrations do we need to show you? How many top 10s of the greatest games of all time do we have to tell you about until you finally realize that we're not the ones bullshitting, bro? Oh, we're just overreacting about this not being a video game. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, or do we need to bring up Sweet Baby Ink again?
Which, by the way, they seem to have all but disappeared in name. I mean, these consultation firms are still out there. Clearly, again, they're not hard to spot at all. Like, and the more and more companies are hiring people with those same sentiments. So again, they don't even need separate companies like Sweet Baby Inc. for their games to fail. They're doing it to themselves. You know?
Yeah, why pay someone to fail your game when you could just do it yourself?
Yeah, why pay somebody? Exactly. Why pay somebody to shoot you in the foot when you can do it yourself? Exactly. This, they suggested, was evidence of paid reviews and large scale collusion. Listen, we know how this works, right? You're gonna pretend that it's not payment because there's no money being exchanged, right? Which I'm still pretty sure that somebody is still getting paid somewhere under the table. But you're gonna act like there's no paid reviews because there's no money being exchanged, but we know that you can pay people in other ways. Favor for favor, access, invitations to play the latest game, invitations to theme parks and conferences and like stuff like that. Like we have no idea what you're doing with IGN or the other people, but we know it's paid reviews. Even if they're not being paid currently, we know that the likes of IGN and GameSpot are giving games like Mixtape rave reviews at least for the hope of getting some access, getting some kind of payment, getting some kind of compensation or some kind of allegiance. We know it's happening. It's not even a conspiracy. How else does a trash game like this or a game that disappointed its whole fan base like The Last of Us 2 get 10 out of 10s? From everyone, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 from everybody. That never happens. The most popular games of our era, the most popular games in history, have never gotten 10 out of 10 from literally everyone, bro. It's never happened. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, people's opinions are far too diversified to actually have a united, like a truly united score.
Bro, there's games, right, that are so popular, or at least back in the day, there were games that were so popular, people would just say that the game is mid just for the clout, just for the rage bait, just to get engagement. Like somebody will look you dead in your eyes and be like, Devil May Cry 3 ain't even that good. What?
Man,
Okay. Okay.
that rage bait, it's like not through a YouTube video,
That's
but if
not
someone
new.
had actually said that to my face in real
It's
life,
not new.
brother, that rage bait might actually work.
Bro, it's not new. People have been doing shit like that forever. So you can't tell me that it's natural for Mixtape to have 10 out of 10 from everywhere. You remember what they did to Elden Ring? Bro, everybody liked Elden Ring. The Souls community was loving it. Motherfuckers coming out of the floorboards to say Elden Ring's not a masterpiece. It's not that good. That shit's not happening to fucking Mixtape. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you?
You know what I just thought of?
What?
Did you since you said that rage bait has been around for like forever, for so long in history, I wonder what did rage baiting back in like the olden times look like?
Contrarianism. You know that meme where it's the guy that says this fucking sucks, and behind it it's literally the coolest thing ever. That's how they did it.
Yeah, but like I mean, like imagine rage baiting somebody back in like the 1800s, or like in the medieval era. Like, can you imagine what that must sound like? Like someone rage baiting in Shakespearean tongue.
Bro, somebody did like a rap beef thing with like old school composers like Wolfgang Sebastian Bach was beefing with Beethoven. And bro was like, "You hear that? That was a diss note. That's a diss note." He's talking shit about. That shit was
That's a
funny.
diss note.
Nah, people have played with that concept before. It's actually hilarious, bro. Like, nah, shit like that has been going on for a while in the games industry. And when I don't see it happening to a supposedly 10 out of 10 game, I know that it's not that good. Because when your game is actually good, people are gonna nitpick it to hell, bro. It happened to Devil May Cry 3, it happened to Elden Ring, it happened to I got Devil May Cry 3 on the fucking brain. I know there's other games, bro. I just
There's other games besides Devil May Cry game.
pick one, damn it. If it's an insanely popular game, Skyrim, Even though personally I think Skyrim is overrated, people have sometimes said shit about it that's just unwarranted. It's still a fun video game, even if I think it's overrated. But yeah, like if a game is insanely popular, people will talk shit about it just for the clout. This is not happening to mixtape. Anyway, let me see if I can get through this article because we have other topics to cover. So like,
Yes.
how could it be picking up 10 out of 10s where more deserving games like massively mid role playing game Crimson Desert faltered? But here's the thing: everyone agrees that Crimson Desert is mid. Nobody came out of the woodwork to defend poor practices in the name of Crimson Desert. As a matter of fact, everybody was trying to figure out why Crimson Desert was so ass. Everybody was excited for that game. So what the fuck are you talking about? People were disappointed that Crimson Desert wasn't as good as it was supposed to be. And then come to find out what happened. Developers meddled. Executives do what the fuck they do best and fuck up the soup. They didn't let the developers and the coders and the artists and the writers cook like they were supposed to. They said, take this out, put this in. You know that other mechanic from that popular game? Put that in. But it doesn't make sense for the gameplay we're trying to set up. Shut up. We write the checks, put it in. It happens every time, bro. It happened with Spider-Man 3. This literally got the Spider-Man 3 treatment. The fucking creator.
I was gonna say I was about to bring up Spider-Man 3.
The fucking creator had a vision, and then the executive said, "Hey, what if we fucked all of that up?" And then you got Crimson Desert in its current state. By the way,
I want to respond.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to interrupt. I want to respond to this comment from Crystal Pokey who says, Plato's Socrates, behold a man was probably the earliest rage bait. That is fucking funny.
That's fact. That's a fact. But I'm not gonna lie, that's not even rage bait. That's more of a hot take because he was trying to illustrate a point. He was trying to illustrate a point when I think it was Diogenes said that a man is a featherless bipedal something. Socrates. No, wait. Who actually said behold a man? Fuck. It was Diogenes, right? Who did it then? If you're yelling at me, who did it? Plato?
It was Diogenes, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It was Diogenes who said, behold a man. It was Plato who defined the human as a featherless biped.
Yeah, featherless biped, and then Diogenes rage baited him. And it's more of a hot take because he was illustrating a point. Like, clearly, man is more than a featherless biped. So that's more of a hot take than rage bait. It's just kind of doing two jobs at once. But I get the point.
That is still fucking funny, though. Just imagine.
It was fucking hilarious. Behold, a man! Like, shit is hilarious, bro.
It's already funny hearing somebody with like old-fashioned tongue just immaculately roasting somebody without them even realizing it. Mm-hmm. But having just straight up rage baiting somebody in the oldest language possible is just
that shit.
That's just a whole new level, man.
This man went to the trouble to pluck all the feathers off a fucking chicken. Tails. Bruh.
That's wild.
But yeah, you see my point about the Crimson Desert thing, right? Like, nobody defended Crimson Desert. Nobody. They wanted the game to be good. It wasn't good. The developer, it got so bad that the developers came out and said, we wanted this for the game, but our bosses said no. Or words to that effect. So, again, what are they talking about? They can't even be honest. Anyway. This is a talking point as old as time, born of legitimate confusion from gamers about how websites work. The perception that publications are monoliths rather than assemblages of individuals with their own distinct opinions. I'll never believe that every single one of you think Mixtape is a 10 out of 10, bro. Sorry. You don't give Mixtape a 10 out of 10 and then say Subnautica is a 7 for too much water. If you're a healthy games review studio, I don't believe you. You got motherfuckers there who can't beat the Cuphead tutorial. You can't press jump dash, bro. I'm not believing y'all. I'm not taking your word for anything.
Can't even pass the tutorial. That is wild.
You can't jump and then air dash, bro. Anyway,
Like how can you be bad at tutorial stage?
I don't know, bro. And now amplified by content creators and mobs when it suits their needs. Like, that's rage bait. The shit that they said with Crimson Desert, that shit is rage bait. They honestly think that Mixtape is a better game than fucking Crimson Desert. Think about that. As unfinished, half-baked, and incomplete as Crimson Desert is, those motherfuckers think Mixtape is better. When Crimson Desert at least tries to be fun. It tries to entertain you. I can see the parts where the developers tried to get something in there, bro. I can see the vision of the developers peeking through, even though there's so much shit that... God damn, I'm getting a phone call! I'll be right back.
Oh. So yeah, tale as old as time. Wait, are you actually answering the phone call right now? All right. So, Vidge, what do you think?
Oh, what?
Well, the article thus far about what we were just talking about.
Trying to find a polite way of saying this.
Oh boy, you gotta stay. You gotta find a way to stay freaking guideline friendly.
These guys are so full of crap, man. It's just man, I tell you. Oh boy, just par for the course, man. It's par for the course.
Let's see. Crystal Pokey says too much water has been IGN stable since their Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire review since 2014. They fell for the meme. That I didn't even know that was a meme.
Yeah, it was a meme for a long time. Yeah. That's
Oh my
that's an old ass meme, bro. If you go and look at like some of IGN's old videos and stuff like that, like after that shit happened, then yeah, you're gonna see people talk about like, oh, too much water, 7 out of 10, shit like that. That is real, dude.
Oh my god, that is funny as hell.
That is real.
Every time
If somebody mentions that, then you know that they've been around for a while.
Well, that's how you guys know I'm young because I only know about the too much water thing because of the Subnautica
Mm,
review. I didn't
yeah,
even know
it's
about
much
this from
older
the
than
Power Pokemon days.
that. Yeah, it's much older than that. Much older than that.
Seppas, you called Kane. Hang up the phone. Let him come back to the show. Oh. Well, I hope Kane's not getting rage baited across where he's at right now.
Mm,
Still, that's wild. Too much water. Stepfist is never. Oh, jeez. We're gonna be here for a long time then. Oh, hey, Kane. How was your phone call with Stepfist?
I'm back, y'all. It was fucking terrible. Interrupted me at the worst time. I'm gonna get his ass. But nah, but for real, it was the fucking Instacart driver. They couldn't find my house.
Wow.
Anyway, what were y'all talking about while I was gone?
he was talking about how he didn't know about the 7 out of 10 too much water meme that's been around forever.
For a while, bro.
Yeah, like I only recently heard about it from the Subnautica. I didn't.
They actually said that,
No,
bro.
no, no. It was a comment in the chat that mentioned too much water meme from back in a Pokemon review. And I was just
Hmm.
telling Vidge, I actually didn't know about it from that era. I only heard about it from Subnautica.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
that shit's been around for a long time.
Wait, is his message still pinned? Damn, I meant to unpin it a while ago.
Hey,
But yeah, let me
Pokies.
continue with the article real quick.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because
Go ahead, go ahead.
we got three more topics to cover, and I think you wanted to talk about the boys, so yeah, let's do that. Okay. Oh, oh yeah, individuals with their own distinct opinions. I read that. That's obviously not fucking true though. And of course, mixtape looks like the fair Gamergate adjacent types and the right wing slop tubers have been painting as the boogeyman for years. What? Visuals that evoke queer friendly hits like Life is Strange. Is that game actually a hit?
Oh,
Is that shit actually a hit? Is it? Is that.
Life is
no,
Strange. I don't know.
not the
I've
queer
never played it.
queer friendly. Okay, I think
It,
no, Life is Strange was just kind of it was just a brief rage. That's that's it. Like
Hmm.
after Life is Strange and Life is Strange 2 passed, no one's talked about Life is Strange in such a long time.
why would they? Why would they? Why would you talk about that when you can talk about Elden Ring? Why?
Hmm.
For what? Bloodborne is getting more conversation than that shit.
Wait, what are we talking about? What?
Life is Strange. Like, why would you talk about Life is Strange when you could talk about Elden Ring or Hollow
Right?
Knight or Silk Song? Like, why? For what?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like Life is Strange, maybe at the time it came out, it was a hit, but that was a one-hit wonder at best.
I think the
Even then, I
sequel.
wouldn't even call it a wonder. I'm being very generous calling it a wonder. I'm only saying that because I remember YouTubers, all the big YouTubers played it at least once, and it was like talked about for a few months, and then it just went away.
And the sequel was not well liked at all. I remember that.
Oh yeah, the sequel was not very popular, and then it just after that, after it came out, no one really talked about it, like either of them.
Naturally. Queer friendly hits like Life is Strange, a central cast that's not entirely made up of white men, and on rails linearity that prioritizes feelings over challenge. Okay.
Maybe because we prefer a bit of challenge.
I prefer to play my games. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. The
Yeah, like
rest. Uh huh.
you know what's funny? You know what's funny thing about that feelings over challenge? The most challenging games get you feeling in certain type of ways too, you know?
Mm-hmm.
With challenges comes feelings.
Oh, is he saying that the review of Subnautica was fake, or did they fall for the meme? Because I could have sworn that they said that for real. Too much water for Subnautica. But anyway, let me pick up where I left off. Did I say the rest is post hoc justification? Annapurna was founded by an Ellison, so it must be evil. Nobody said it. Nobody said mixtape is evil. We said it's not indie because it's backed by a billionaire and it's ass. That's all we said.
Hmm.
Any game that I can beat without pressing a button is ass. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And mixtape is trading in stolen valor by masquerading as an indie while commanding the resources to license a formidable soundtrack of 80s and 90s hits. I don't know many indie studios that can license original music. All the indies I know make their own shit. They make original soundtracks for their games. You know. Anyway, never mind that indies come in all shapes and sizes these days. No, no, we're not. We're not. We're not doing this. We're not doing this, bro.
Shapes and
And
sizes.
words
I don't
mean
know about
things, bro.
that.
Words mean things, bro. Independent means what it means, bro. It does not mean you have a parent company. It doesn't mean you have a fucking shareholder with millions of dollars. That's not what the fuck it means. It doesn't mean you have an outsourced team of professionals that have been in the business for 20 fucking years. That's not what it means, bro. Now, see, if you're somebody who used to work for a major studio, like the dude who made shit, what was that game called? He's the creator of Castlevania Symphony of the Night, but he actually ended up making his own independent project, which is like his own game. Fuck, I forgot the name of that game. He
Symphony of
made
the Night
Bloodstained.
creator.
Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. Yeah, that counts because that's his own.
Oh, okay.
That's his own shit. But
It's its own IP.
yeah, but if you're like literally somebody who has a parent company and like shareholders, you're not fucking indie, bro. And you're outsourcing teams, you're not a fucking indie. You're not, bro. Independent has a very strict meaning. Now, like, cause like you don't have to be indie forever either. Nobody's saying that either. Cause like, let's say Team Cherry, after the success of Hollow Knight, decides to partner with another studio. I don't think anybody will have a problem with that. Because they're expanding. As long as the fucking content quality remained the same or got better, nobody would give a shit.
Basically, as long as they don't forget their roots in a way.
Exactly. Like nobody's saying you have to be indie. Being indie is actually overrated in my opinion. But the deal
Hey,
the
indie
deals
is overrated.
Yeah, being indie is overrated because people think that people think that by virtue of no longer being independent that you lose your soul. I don't think that's true. But the deals have to make sense. Like if you partner with somebody, they have to realize that you have a specific vision for your creative work and that you want to maintain complete creative control. You know what I mean? Like you can partner with somebody, but the deal has to make sense. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to be indie to be a credible studio, is what I'm saying. That's why I say being indie is underrated, overrated. You know, because indie doesn't equal good product. There's hundreds of shitty indie games. They're all over the fucking PlayStation store.
And the Xbox store. I can tell you that right off the jump, man. I have not turned my Xbox on in months, dog, and I can tell you that shit. And I've even tried playing some of them, and some of them are just not very good.
No. The shit that's selling for 99 cents, don't. Keep
Is it at least a fair price for the quality? Or no?
No, bro. Go buy some gum. Go buy some gum. You get a much better experience out of that stick of gum than you will buying that.
Some of that stuff, man. Some of that stuff, I probably wouldn't have even played it for free, man.
Right? Like, no. Because even if you're not paying money, you're paying time, nigga. No.
Pay time. Okay, that's a good way to look at it.
But Crystal says there are two types of indies: those who are actually independent thinkers and those who are just fuck ups who couldn't make it in the industry and thus try to replicate it. Okay.
I don't know, you guys tell me.
I see what it means. But they still have to be independent and not, part of a fucking conglomerate or have a shareholder or a fucking parent company. If you have a parent company, you're not indie. The fuck? Like a major indie. I don't even think that's real, bro. What do you mean major indie? Like unless you're an independent studio, like legitimately that just made like a bunch of money from your first game, like Team Cherry. I would consider them a major indie, but that's not usually what it means. When people think of major indie, they literally think of a studio that's supposedly independent, but their parent company is EA or some shit. Like that's not fucking.
Speaking.
Go ahead.
Well, while we're on that topic, I want to ask you guys real quick. Since what do y'all think? what do you think of Dispatch? Like, would that be considered like a true indie game, or not really, since it's made by former employees or former developers from Telltale? Would that be a major indie game
Did they
or
leave?
no? Or
Did
just
they
regular?
leave and form their own studio with their own money?
I think so. I know they did leave Telltale to make that game, but
Yeah, if they left,
I don't
like
know.
nobody said that not having any experience is a requirement for being independent. That's stupid. What's required to be considered an independent studio is making it on your own steam. Like if you have prior experience, that's great actually. Like literally the only thing it takes is having your own original idea, your own money to build the product. Maybe you have a small team, but if you have like a legion of motherfuckers helping you make it, you know what I mean? And like you have a parent company or something. No, no, you're not indie. I would consider that indie. You know, if it's like a team from a former studio they used to work at, because that happens all the time. Like Todd McFarlane, right? He was a part of Marvel and DC, and then he left to do his own shit, and then he just grew. Yeah, I would consider that indie.
As- For Todd McFarlane, he was also part of Image Comics, right? Which is where he made Spawn.
Wait, that shit that wasn't his, was it? Image Comics wasn't his, was it? That wasn't his comic book company, was it?
For Spawn, let me see.
No, Spawn is his
Spawn.
IP, but I don't think Image was his company. He didn't own it. I don't
No,
think.
Image. No, Image was not founded by Todd McFarlane. No.
Okay.
Me actually, let me look. Let me look up Image Comics founders. I want to look them up now. Oh wait, hang on. Image Comics founded.
I'm gonna see if I can get to the end of this article. It looks like it's pretty damn long. I think we're about halfway through it. It says further, never mind that Annapurna is a publisher, not a developer, meaning that Megan Ellison did not personally create Mixtape or devise nebulously maniacal plots around it. Annapurna's role on the game, in all likelihood, was limited to funding and marketing. That you still don't know what an indie is. Independent studios are in charge of their own marketing. They have to market the game themselves. Or they have to use their own money, their own budget to market. So what you're telling me is Annapurna, their parent company, like the Annapurna movie thing, is helping the game studio, which means it's not indie. Excuse me. Give me 1 second.
Oh, speaking of Image, yeah, I just did a quick search. It was mainly Rob Liefeld who founded Image Comics, but then he brought in Todd McFarlane and Jim Lee. Oh, and then Todd McFarlane brought Jim Lee, I think. Yeah, Liefeld brought in Eric Larson and, and Jim Valentino and McFarlane. So he was one of the people who started, but he wasn't the very first one. He was one of the very first people who got Image running. Basically, yeah, basically it was a bunch of artists and comic writers from Marvel and DC, yeah, veterans who joined together to form their own company. That's what it was. Yeah. Pokey says Dispatch is partially made by the SAG-AFTRA voice actor union. Really? I didn't know that.
This is
Really?
definitely.
Really? Because I thought the studio that made Dispatch was supposed to be in indie. I didn't know SAG-AFTRA had any involved.
Mm.
Yeah, because of the rights issues going on over there. It really has nothing to do with this. This person just has a bone to pick with. It's just like I said before, this person just has a bone to, I feel like this person just has a bone to pick with Israel and Trump and all that, but I mean, when it doesn't matter, yeah, when it's just supposed to be about the game.
Goofy.
Oh, oh, no. PlayStation version.
Oh man,
Oh,
late. Oh
your,
man.
please curb your socialism, please.
He could
Oh,
he couldn't even finish the sentence when he first read it.
that was so. It, bro, bitch, it hurt his soul reading that. His soul got punched reading that, man. On my head.
Mm, mm, mm. Wow.
Oh. Oh my god, I'm trying so hard not to, like, I'm laughing, but I'm trying to also hold in my laugh.
Damn. Damn. Damn.
Oh. I think the audience knows. Toilet.
Nope.
Yeah, the only
Mhm.
I was gonna say
Mhm.
these reviewers are just stoking the fires. They're just lighting fires at best. And I mean, yeah, gaslighting, but just like in general, lighting the fires is to try to either try to turn people away or just bring engagement to a game that sucks ass. Hang on, I want to point out a comment real quick. Crystal, are you able to hear Kane's mic right now? Like, or is it still bugging out for you? Make a response.
Fuck! I was reading this whole time and the back end was muted. I hate.
Wait, your
Ah,
back end was muted?
Yeah, the back
shucks.
end was muted. I wish he would have said that
Wait,
sooner.
how far how far back was your back end muted?
I don't know.
Was it back when you were yelling tenuous?
I think it was back when I was yelling to you.
Man.
That sucks.
Well, Crystal, you said you've been
Yes.
saying this for a while, but I'm just now seeing your comment.
Oh.
And also, it looks like you said that just recently, like 5 minutes ago. So,
You said my mic was bugged, and then you said if I'm reading the article. God damn it, bro. My bad. But
Mm.
no, it wouldn't be
I'm
the
I'm
monkey's
very
paw
mad I
without
didn't
some kind
capture
of
my
technical
rage in real
issue.
time. They heard me rage, but I'm mad I ain't capturing it in real time. That sucks. No,
And
it's
it
fine,
wouldn't be the monkey's paw. And it wouldn't be the monkey's paw without a technical flaw.
bruh. I'm sick. Where did I last leave off reading? Where did I last leave off reading? Or
Scroll down, scroll down, scroll.
I was trying to ask Crystal where he last heard me reading. Like, what did he last hear?
Oh, he just says I tried. Well, where did you last hear him?
Um, I guess I'll keep reading from where I was. The okay, I already read that. Their conniving tendrils interlocked in a lattice of collusions. But the
Wow,
truth
what a
is
word!
that
Well, love the wordplay there. Interlocked in a lattice of collusion. Uh,
oh, right after
oh, you
dispatch,
said as far back as the dispatch? Oh, dude, he didn't
shit.
even hear you
Oh, well,
rage.
it was like up here then, mixtape and Warner Brothers and okay, my bad. I'll make
That's
sure
what I'm
that
saying.
never happens again. But yeah,
He probably didn't even hear you rage either.
nah, he didn't. He didn't because it was
Damn.
there will be more rage moments. It's all good, but that was rage bait. But the truth is that relatively few people care about written game reviews these days, especially with even heavy hitters hollowed out by layoffs and the ravages of Google's ever changing algorithm. The very content creators who accuse IGN and other sites of misusing their influence are the real tastemakers of the modern era. Oh, so they finally admit it. They finally admit that YouTubers have more influence than they do. It's about time. They shape the conversation around new games, often via misinformation and rage bait.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Rage
Which
bait? Yeah, they're one to talk.
exactly, bro. Which more reliably drives engagement on social media than discussing games on their own terms. What are you talking about, bro? People haven't discussed mixtape on their own terms. On its own terms. People have already exposed this game for being a fraudulent representation of the era it's meaning to depict. There's so much anachronism in it. Like, there's shit that's not even from the era it's supposedly depicting. Like, even simple shit like the game being called mixtape and then you have a fucking CD in the pause menu.
Oh my God.
Like,
Bro, are you serious?
bruh. And that's demonstrable, bro. Like, people have been demonstrating shit this entire time, discussing the game on its own terms. You just don't want to admit that it's ass. And people have very valid reasons for calling it ass.
And not just because of that the billionaire daddy supports a certain orange man.
That's a separate conversation altogether. People don't even
It
start
is
with
a
that.
separate conversation. It is a separate conversation, but this writer just, if you even want to call him that, just keeps wanting to bring that up.
Oh, shit. My bad, Crystal.
Being ideologically captured is a curse.
Yeah, basically it is. Like, I don't want this for any side. Like, they keep claiming that you just want anti woke media. I'm like, no, I just want not woke media. Like, that's distinctly different. Like, like, you know what I mean? Like, shit from we have examples, bro. Shit like from the early 2000s, the 90s, even the early 2010s. That was some good shit. It really felt like we were trying to make something that was reminiscent of better eras from 2010 to 2015 until
Mhm.
the fucking Fire Nation attack. We won't say what the event was, but anyway. Again, this all feels like an attempted dog whistle to get the drones to stop defending the game because of the ties to Ellison. They realize it's a bad look and are trying to pivot without conceding. I mean, they're trying to pivot without conceding anything. Because again, see, here, like I already explained, nobody really cares whether or not a game is indie. We only care that it's good. But they're trying to, for some reason, they think calling themselves indie is gonna give them more points when that's never how it's fucked. That's never been how it's worked. Ever.
Right.
Either the game is good or not. We don't give a fuck if a dude in his garage made the shit with his pet rat or a multi-million-dollar company made the game. Is the game good? Is it fun? Is it going to have longevity? Does it have replay value? Can I play it with my bros? Like, that's the shit we care about. We don't give a shit. I don't care who makes the game as long as it's good. But anyway, misinformation and rage bait, which more reliably drives engagement. And discussing games on their own terms. They're once again demonstrating as much with mixtape. If you search mixtape on platforms like YouTube, you often see their opinions first. When people on, excuse me. When people on Reddit ask why everyone's talking about mixtape, you hear about the controversy surrounding review scores, not the game itself, or even in many cases what the reviews specifically praised. That's not even true, because you'll see people playing the game to disprove the reviews as well. Also, why is it a bad thing that people are talking about the review scores, especially if literally everybody and their mama is giving a game a 10 out of 10?
Mm.
Like, you think people aren't going to go
It's almost
research?
like they don't want to be called out themselves or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like, do you want the game to be like, what did you expect was going to happen when you had all these companies give it a 10 out of 10 and tell everybody it's the greatest game ever? You expect people to not look into it? Like, you just wanted people to shut up about it? Like, what did you want? It's just weird.
Mhm.
Like, there's the big ass game of pretend with each one of these types of articles where it's like they want to pretend that the people aren't supposed to talk about it and give their honest opinion. It's like they don't expect any negative pushback, which obviously they do, because that's the entire point. Like, what do you mean? We understand your game, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've seen your game, we've played your game, and it still sucks.
Right,
We know that they know they're gonna get negative pushbacks. So now they're just prepping the script. They try to make excuses. The
right.
script of excuses to work around.
However, for these content creators to admit that their influence, at least in aggregate, now far outstrips that of websites would be to give up the game. Um, People have already said that YouTubers have more influence than you. Nobody's trying to hide that. As a matter of fact, you were the ones trying to hide that for the longest time. And now you're accusing us of trying to hide that when we're not. I don't even know why I'm saying me. I mean, like, us. Like, I'm a part of that. Like, I'm way smaller than the people that y'all are talking about, like Az and fucking
Remember, you're supposed to be
Geeks
a
and
Venom.
Gamers
You're
and all of
supposed
them.
to say we instead of I. You remember?
You get the point I'm trying to make. Nobody was trying to hide that shit except y'all. You know, it's just weird. Now they're using it against us in deflecting, not deflecting, projecting. This type of rhetoric requires some kind of faceless, all powerful enemy to rage against. No, it just requires a shit game to be called out for being shit. Anyway, three imposing letters, IGN, make for a perfect foil in this age of attention seeking faces and names, despite the dwindling number of underpaid, overworked freelancers who do the actual work of propping up those letters.
Or
I
they
don't know what happened
why
to him.
why don't those workers leave that stuff and find other jobs?
Who knows, bro? Because they
Why
can
do
only
you
get
have to
jobs
work
with
for
their normal.
IGN?
They can't get jobs at normal workplaces. They can only get jobs where their sentiments are being, what's it called, perpetuated.
I mean, because I'm a writer and I still have a normal job. I don't need to go work at IGN to make money.
Well, I'm
Sheesh.
talking about the people who need to work at places like IGN. Like, if there was if the landscape was rife with review companies a la the 1990s and early 2000s, those same people would be outside in a suspender with a barrel, in suspenders in a barrel, bro. They would never survive in the old school climate of games reviewing because those companies had actual integrity and they actually played the fucking video games. You know what I mean?
True.
They would never survive. They can't get a fucking job in a studio that's not anti-gamer or leftist. They can't do it. But then again, how many of those review companies actually exist nowadays? Very few of them. This is where arguments among longer standing critics and developers on Blue Sky and blogs come into play. They are all to some degree feeling the squeeze. Critics no longer have reliable homes for their work. Developers can't find funding to save their studios' lives, and so while YouTubers point to mixtape as evidence that wokeness is ruining video games, that's not the only example. Those who actually put the game under the microscope have come to a different conclusion. What? Shut up. In a time of dwindling resources, money, and attention have once again been devoted to developers with an older, decidedly wider envisioning of bygone days.
Okay, so first it's the right wingers' fault, and it was capitalism's fault. Now it's white people's fault. Which one are we missing now?
Bro, I don't know, bro. I don't know what they're trying to say every time they bring up white
Oh
people
wait,
because when you play the game, I'm pretty sure the main character is a white girl. So I have no
hang on, I
fucking.
forgot.
Do they like this game or not, bro? This is the most confusing article I've ever read.
I was
But
gonna
one
say.
thing's for certain:
Oh wait, no, hold up. The only
they
thing
don't like us. They hate us. That's sure. That's for sure. Go ahead.
straights. That's the one thing that they have not that this person has not called out yet. That's the one next gimmick scratch off of woke articles that they have not crossed yet. They've gone the white man, they've
Mm-hmm.
gone the capitalism.
Yep.
Now we need straight. We just need one more to complete
Oh
the
yeah,
trifecta.
we'd get a bingo if we got straight.
Oh wait, and religion. There you go. And religion. They have
Yeah,
not
yeah.
called out Christianity yet, or
Yep.
patriotism. There you go.
Two more to
Not the
bingo.
trifecta. The bingo board. There you go.
Crystal says, "See, game reviewing is something that was designed around meritocracy, and when that got thrown out with DEI programs, it went into the pisser." Yeah, exactly. Exactly. This is not evidence of collusion, but instead systemic imbalance. Mixtape, rather than other games with similar themes, received financial and promotional backing, and many. See, here's the thing. You just got done saying that this game flew under the radar. Which is it? It received financial and promotional backing, or it flew under the radar? Anyway, and many of the reviewers who showered it with praise were right within its target demographic because, well, there aren't many reviewers left outside it.
Wait, what is the target
I'm not gonna
demographic?
lie to you. I think they just said the quiet part out loud here. The target demographic for mixtape were people who don't like video games because you can beat the whole game without having to press a single fucking button.
Wow.
This was a severe mask off moment. There aren't many reviewers outside of the target demographic for mixtape. Damn, way to expose everybody like we didn't know that already. They've all been pushed out of the economic realities of a shrinking industry and a crumbling society. Mixtape has come to represent both what gets made in a system defined by growing precarity and who gets the largest platform to talk about it. Whatever the fuck that
You,
means. Go ahead.
you know what I noticed?
What?
Sorry. I was gonna say I noticed first they always start off by basically lying about how popular the game actually is or how
Right.
good it actually is.
Right.
And then in the later half, the second half of the articles, they always admit that it's actually not that good.
Yeah.
But they try to pity you, but they try to pity you into giving them good positive good boy points. Because oh, we don't have that many people to actually play it. We don't have enough people to actually review it. But it's good, I promise you. Please,
They're trying to
please buy the
convince
game.
you they're trying to convince you that all that happened is that the reviewers that gave it 10 out of 10 were the target demographic. Again, saying the quiet part out loud. How long have we been saying that they're making video games for these fucking stupid ass reviewers? Game journalists, bro. Game journalist difficulty. How long have we been saying that? They're literally saying the quiet part out loud with this paragraph. The game got such high scores because the reviewers fall into their target demographic. Games journalist. As No Escapes Kale Holtner wrote, there's no way around this. Mixtape uses nostalgia as a bludgeon to beat players to death with. There's a specific type of guy whose presence is overrepresented in games media for whom this game is basically catnip. Are they saying that straight white men love mixtape? Are you fucking...
What?
There is a specific type of guy whose presence is overrepresented in games media for whom this game is basically catnip. It is meant to trigger emotions so powerful in that specific type of guy that when they write or talk about it, they frame the bill of goods that mixtape is selling as the universal growing up and coming of age experience. that is so authentic
Oh,
and
good.
classic and true to life that surely everyone who has ever lived has experienced or wanted to experience it. All right, this person's divorced from the
What
world.
in the word salad are they talking about?
Bro, I have heard no guys talking about mixtape. Zero. So I don't know what they're talking about. Critic Cameron Kunzelman, meanwhile, dug deeper into how capitalism gives rise to mixtapes, vague, vibesy milieu.
What
I think
the
that's a French word.
what the
Anyway,
hell is milieu?
I don't
What
know.
is milieu?
I don't know. My frustration, maybe, is that I've seen it done in more interesting ways, and I thought mixtape might go there. It plays in irony as much as it does sincerity, and those are the best parts of the game. Stumbling drunk through a movie rental spot is good, playing off something real life, but also blown out of proportion into heroic context. Excuse me. The magical parts of the game work just as well running, flying, sitting in a beautiful car, conducting fireworks. These are well executed and notable, while there are games that I think are doing the teen feelings and how it impacts the self better than this one. There's not another game precisely like this, and certainly not one with the kind of money behind it.
But the
What
kind of
feeling?
money wasn't this? I just looked that up. Was this game not cheap?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. What feeling is
Am
here
I
to
was my
return
was
to?
my quick research wrong?
You said 90K, right? I don't know if it was right or wrong. I
That's
have
what I
no
look.
idea.
That's what I looked up and it said.
I don't know, man. What
And
feeling is here
also
to
the
what
all
feeling
that's
is here to Go
sorry.
ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna say all that stuff that he was just listing off about walking, running, flying, shooting fireworks. That all sounds like barely even side quest stuff. That just sounds like you know, like just average mini game activity.
Bro,
Like
they put sitting in a
that's
beautiful
supposed to be
car as one of the highlights of the fucking game.
like I can go to
Sitting.
GTA and sit in a beautiful car. What's so
I can
special about
drive it
this?
in GTA. What the fuck? Sitting? Sitting in a beautiful car. Oh my god, bro. What feeling is here to return to when the vague feeling of music lifted from all context and winnowed down to flatter me is available by creating an algorithmic Spotify playlist? I had this thought about halfway through the game since it repeatedly kept hitting me with the smooth guitar music that one of our most evil platforms somehow keeps autoplaying for me when my playlist of metal and post punk end. No one's history attempting to drag us all into a giving median, a space for no one. New coffee shop in the mixed use development court, bro. I don't know what the fuck
What
they're
in the
saying.
hell are you
I
talking
don't I
about?
don't know, bro. These don't read like coherent sentences. I get the gist of what they're saying, but their sentence I don't know what they're trying to say. These are conversations worth having, but it can be difficult to do so over the din of view hungry content creators purposefully mischaracterizing how game development works. In the face of listen, man, here's the thing, right? Gamers do not presume to know how game development works. They presume to know how games work. And mixtape is not a game, bro. Nobody has been talking about game development in reference to this game. They've just been saying it's ass. Like anything to contend with the arguments actually being made, bro. It's so fucking annoying. In the face of that, many feel an inherent desire to defend mixtape and other mixtape shaped games rather than engage in substantive criticism of them. So they don't like the game? I don't know, bro. So this was like a centrist article. I don't know. There has been an overarching, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all attitude around writing critically about indie games, partly because the most common haters are bad faith reactionaries. So so they're saying that the people criticizing it are definitely bad faith, but the people criticizing it are right wing conspiracy theorists who are bad faith, but the people defending it aren't engaging in substantive criticism. What the fuck is this? This article's ass. This article's ass.
This might be up there with one of the worst ones we've read.
This shit is horrible. That's really hobbled, and it's long, bro. This shit took an hour and 42 minutes. That's really hobbled.
And we're still not even done.
We're almost done. We got a quarter of it left. That's really hobbled the space for a long time. Musician, writer, and game developer Liz Ryerson said on Blue Sky, "It's part of the reason why indie games often feel like a cause people are advocating for. That rhetoric that was proliferated really ever since indie games blew up commercially. There are some exceptions to this, like obviously problematic creators slash games, but generally it stayed that way. You have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
Wonder who they mean by the obviously problematic creators in games.
The only games that feel like causes people are advocating for are games like Dustborn, Mixtape, Concord, Life is Strange 2, The Last of Us 2. Those feel like activist made games, bro. Indie games weren't responsible for that. Y'all were, bro. My God, bro. But all of this belies what Mixtape actually is, a several hour long interactive playlist. It is not particularly profound or ambitious. So many cool, interesting games come out every day now that those picking its bones clean for content could have safely ignored it. No, they couldn't have, bro. Not with IGN saying it's a 10 out of 10 and all these other outlets saying it's a 10 out of 10, bro. No. People just don't like being lied to.
So they're complaining that people went ahead and looked at it and they're like, well, so you could have looked at something
so they admit the game's unremarkable at the very end of the article, but they still say that everybody's a right-wing reactionary. Like, it's so stupid, bro. It's so fucking dumb.
The level of winery in here.
Go ahead.
The winery of this article, man, it's so profound.
Man, this article was so bad, bro. It was so bad.
Terrible.
Wax Heads, another arguably more ambitious game about the intersection of life and musical taste, also came out last week. Numerous intriguing music games dot this year's release calendar. In an ideal world, they would all be backed by Mixtape's formidable for an indie budget and resources. That's not the world we live in, and clearly no one is happy about it. By getting punched well above its weight, Mixtape shows that this can happen to any game, and indeed that engagement-hungry platforms and content creators demand it. Next week or the week after, there will almost certainly be another one of these. What can be done to ease tensions and stem the tide, or even just keep things in context? Vague tweaks from Xbox clearly aren't cutting it. In other countries, companies and governments have tried anti-misinformation lawsuits and campaigns to curb review bombing. Man, I really have to do a video on review bombing because it's just not real, bro. Review bombing isn't real.
I thought we already talked about review bombing.
We have talked about it, but I'm gonna do a formal video, like a YouTube video on it, because it's not real. Review bombing is a fucking myth. Gotcha. It's a myth, bro. It's a fucking myth. Everyone wishing for a better internet faces an uphill battle, but while it's tempting to declare all of this beyond saving, we have to keep trying. As Mixtape demonstrates, it can be comforting to indulge in nostalgia for simpler times, but the present is all we have. We finally got through it.
That was a whack-ass way to end an article.
The present is all we have? Okay.
Shit was horrible.
It's not like everybody keeps depending on olden times to even try to make content.
We're not reading this, but I just have to show y'all the fucking headline to this article. The Right's Charlie Kirk cancellation spree has emboldened gaming's worst. What the fuck are we in for?
That's enough. That's enough.
That's enough.
That's enough, he says. Yeah, that was too much for him.
We're not. Though.
Honestly, I don't even want you to read it just because it's that ass.
Oh. Okay, I know what this is about. I know what this is about, but they're calling this shit cancel. I'm not. We're not reading this.
Oh my
We're
god,
not
this
reading
dude
this shit.
again.
We're not reading this, bro.
Kane,
Hmm. Yeah.
can I ask? I want to ask a favor. Can we? I'm about to step off the
Hmm.
show in a bit, but can we talk about the boys finale before we do?
Yeah, we can do that. We can skip tears. Yeah.
All right. I know I don't like interrupting your show, but I'm also in a bit of a time.
Well, you're a
Uh,
co-host. It's all good.
yeah.
This next one is going to be from Forbes. The Boys series finale is a crushing disappointment. You got anything to say before we continue, Soups?
That is, well, I would say that is the most accurate title, but it's also been kind of a disappointment since at least the second or third season.
Sure.
Fourth one is when Repo really started dropping the series. But no, the elements of what was making it worth dropping were way back there, back in season two at least.
What was
But,
the what was the catalyst for people dropping the series in the beginning?
oh, the series. Oh well, the serious upscaling of the woke political jokes on if you don't see my fingers doing quotation marks.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's like back in season one and even to an extent in season two.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, there was a bit of a balance between like the kind of factions that they would make fun of between like left and right and yada yada, but
Mm-hmm.
after especially in season four, they really amped it up into season four. Like it what gets me is people always try to pull the whole, oh, they make fun of both sides since the beginning.
I was
Yeah,
definitely
sure they
about
did.
to say
But
something like that. Go ahead.
sure they did. But they really amped that shit up in season four. That is not wrong to say. And season five is just all the disappointing elements from season four, plus just being a really disappointing story.
Didn't they
Like I finished it
Trumpify?
just now.
My bad. Finish your point.
I was just saying that even on top of all the political stuff, it's just a really disappointing story. Like they leave so much unsaid, and all the buildup just feels lackluster. There you go. The what was supposed to be a catharsis just felt lackluster.
Didn't they Trumpify Homelander?
Pretty much, they might as well have, and of course they were doing a lot of Trumpian jokes with like making propaganda skits that were about removing illegals,
Oh my god.
removing DEI, basically stuff that normal people want. They made a let's say they basically made a propaganda out of it and it calling it evil because it's all stuff under Homelander and every conservative right wing person's
Bruh.
vision in The Boys.
Bruh.
The
They
world
just
of The Boys is basically what Hollywood sees America as.
bro, they just have to they have the current day every chance they get, bro. Every single chance
And
they get.
like honestly, the last time I've ever seen them actually do a joke against the big corporals,
Mm-hmm.
like a genuine funny joke against the good big corporals, was them making fun of Disney Plus by having a VOT Plus subscription service. Everything everything else afterwards has just been pure, you know, shots at right wing stuff. It gets so annoying, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Going through trying to get through season five just to catch up to this to today was torture.
Yeah, because it was the same. First of all, the contemporary politics completely interrupts and removes the subversion from the show. Like it couldn't just have its own self-contained story. It always has to. There has to always be some bullshit socio-political commentary, bro. It's fucking annoying
Oh,
everywhere.
AI. That was another one that they also made fun of a lot. They kept trying to they also the first episode of season 5, where they harp back to Homelander letting a plane full of people die. They
Mm,
literally wrote that off as AI and made that a plot.
really?
Yes. Yes.
Trash. We're gonna read some. How long is this shit? First off, how long is this article? Hold up. How long is this? Okay, it's. Hang on. It doesn't look. It doesn't look too long. It's not as long as the other one. All right, so we're gonna get into the article. I'm of two minds when it comes to the series finale of The Boys. On the one hand, there were some very entertaining moments throughout. On the other, this should have been so much more. The final showdown between the boys and Homelanders should have been the biggest, craziest fight of the series. Instead, well, we'll get to that. Spoilers ahead. Taken on their own, there were some nice moments in the finale. Blood and bone. Huey's final confrontation with Butcher was fitting and hit all the right emotional beats. It always had to go down like this, I suppose, with those two. And the denouement was
Uh,
nice, if a little sappy. Go ahead.
I'm a disagree on that. The final bit with Huey and Butcher,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, you could have not done that.
Nothing would
You
change
could
that.
have actually not done that scene. Like I think it also happens in the comics under a slightly different context, but
Mm-hmm.
honestly, the fact that they capped it off after the confrontation with Homelander is like, you might as well have not done this. You could have, because here's what I thought was gonna happen. I thought as soon as like, I mean, we can talk spoilers, right? Even among each other.
Yeah. I don't. You really think me and Vidge are gonna go watch the boys?
Fair
No.
enough. Okay. So basically, after Homelander is killed,
If wait, hang on. If any of you in the audience think, oh, if you still have designs on watching this show, leave now. I pray for your safety. Continue.
pray for your safety. That's wild. Um, basically, after Homelander is killed, there is a like all like an epilogue bit, which not one it felt kind of rushed because obviously they were running out of time. They have a last bit, like a last minute conflict where the actor of Gus Fring from Breaking Bad
Mm,
steps in to be the next CEO of Vought.
yeah.
So Butcher wants Butcher decides he's gonna sneak into Vought and release the plot virus that's supposed to kill all superheroes, all mutants, for good, once and for all.
Mm,
Huey follows him and basically they have a fight over it,
mm,
which leads to Huey killing Butcher.
mm,
The thing is, since the whole thing with Butcher was all about him wanting to kill Homelander,
mm,
and he also had cancer at the time because he kept using super drugs to give himself temporary powers. He did have powers. Let's say he had powers by the end of season 4, like for real,
mm,
and then it got erased in the final confrontation with Homelander in the final
yeah.
fight.
Mm,
So he was a human again.
mm,
You could have just ended it with Butcher dying of cancer at the end, like he was originally going to, and you could have still had an emotional cap off at the end of it,
yeah, him on his
and
deathbed, right? Something like that.
essentially, yeah. But it feels like they tacked on that little bit at the end just so that you can have one more sad moment for Huey and Butcher, because it's like they had the Homelander fight, and then they had a bit of a kind of a, I don't want to say a funeral, but a funeral period where everything is calm and it looks like everyone's about to say bye to each other. And then they have that. And then they have a legit funeral at the end for Butcher. And then everyone leaves. And it all just feels kind of rushed and like packed on last second.
I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Was it any
Yeah.
better in the comic? Not that the boys comic was any good, but just for
I
the
have
sake of it.
That's the thing. I never went around to reading the comic because I can't stand the art style. Like,
It's pretty
and
bad.
just it being even more as disgusting as the boys, like the content in the boys show is, the disgustingness is even more ramped up in the comic.
Of
I don't
course.
think the comic was as political as the show,
Or at
if
least
at
not in the
all.
same way. At least not in the same way.
At least, or at least not in the same way, yeah. But it is a lot more gross
Mm-hmm.
with the blood and all the other rated R shit. And just the art style itself, just looking at the characters, everyone looks fuck ugly.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, the
I
art
can't really
style is pretty
compare it
good.
to the like I know Homelander's death is handled differently in the comic, but in terms of Butcher's fate, I can't really say.
Okay. Okay. It's all good.
Mhm.
A happy ending for most of our heroes, sorry, Frenchie, was warranted. Unfortunately, Vought also got a happy ending. With Stan Edgar back in charge as interim CEO. That actually feels pretty realistic to me given how consequences pan out for the rich and powerful. Remember the housing crisis and all those bankers who went to prison after? Yeah, me neither. But so much of this episode, like the rest of the season, felt lackluster and undercooked. For instance, Oh
That's
Father versus the Boys. Is that a fucking ball gag?
yes, it is. That guy and her are into more skinky
Ah,
shit. That's in the that's what I was talking about. The disgusting stuff that goes on in the boys.
yeah.
That kind of shit.
Yeah, everyone has to be depraved because of the creator hating
Every
superheroes and yeah.
every super mutant that isn't part of the boys has to be some kind of depraved degenerate, like of the worst kind.
Lord.
Oh, and especially if they're supposed to be a Christian preacher type of character.
Oh my.
That's another one. Oh, that's a big one, man. They always the churches always get shit on in the show. The churches always turn out to be either corrupt, depraved, or all of the above.
My lord, bro. The entire Oh Father bit was so weird. The season had set up two important threads with the superpowered preacher. First, he was clearly doubting Homelander's rise to godhood. He supported him. But the more unhinged Homelander became and the greater lengths they had to go to convert the faithful, the more old father seemed to doubt. There was a real opportunity here for him to push back in the end, grasp at a shred of redemption, and get killed by Homelander. The
That's
other,
another thing I want
yeah,
to talk about.
they waste things,
So,
they waste opportunities. Yeah.
they not just waste opportunities, they always waste a superhero character that isn't Starlight or Kimiko who
Mm-hmm.
decides to turn against Homelander. They always get they always get fucking killed at the end
Do
every
any
fucking
men
time.
do any men turn against Homelander? Well, I guess there was A Train,
Uh,
right?
well, that's the thing. That's what I mean. Like guys like A Train who turn against Homelander still always wind up dying when they start feeling when a superhero starts becoming heroic,
Mm-hmm.
they get killed. And the only reason Starlight doesn't get that, well, I mean, aside from her own shit, but Starlight leaves the boys early on after getting victimized by them,
Mm-hmm.
and just straight up leaves the group. So she basically abandons the superhero title because superhero in this world, even though
Mm-hmm.
Starlight is a hero in the actual film,
Mm-hmm.
she drops the superhero label
Mm-hmm.
because superheroes in this world are depraved psychopaths,
Yeah.
or they're cowards who are really scared of Homelander and they can't escape.
Yeah.
All right, continue.
Not good. I was reading Crystal's comment. He said, flat out changed they flat out changed the original ending from the comic because it wouldn't have made sense. It wouldn't have made their Trump stand in even 1% less evil.
Oh, God.
I will say though, in terms of the final fight, with Homelander, because of what
Yeah.
I heard about from what I heard of how the comic ended, I only slightly like the show version more because it's Butcher who does Homelander in at the end.
Yeah. That's isn't Butcher like
And
one of the most popular characters in the show?
yes, yes. And Butcher and Homelander are the
We
two
can't have
characters who
that.
are carrying the narrative.
We can't have that. We can't have a fan favorite killed though.
No, that's what I'm saying. In the show, it is Butcher that kills him. But I'm saying in the comic, not really. From what I heard.
Oh, okay. Okay, so Butcher did kill him in the show. I guess that's cool. A fan favorite did get to kill him. Who kills him in the
I mean,
comic?
he's. Oh my god, it's so hard to. It's weird. It's weird to explain, but basically, it's like a second Black Noir type of character kills
Mm,
Homelander. It has no actual connection to Butcher or anything like that.
okay.
Or to Butch. So you could someone correct me in the comment section about that. But from what I heard, that's what I heard before that. It was a Black Noir, either the Black Noir or a second Black Noir character that replaced the first one that killed Homelander at the end.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And I think Butcher, who was far more, he becomes far more villainous in the comic. I know that for sure.
Mm.
The show does treat him a little better because he's not as villainous, even though he's still an asshole.
I'm saying Black Noir is the one who banged Butcher's wife instead of Homelander, and he was a Homelander clone. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They okay. They changed the original comic ending because it would have made their Trump stand in 1% less evil. Yeah, okay, yeah. I get what you mean. I get what you mean. It would have been someone
Uh,
else. It would have been someone else who banged Butcher's wife, not Homelander. Yeah, completely
oh God.
understand.
The the whole thing with Black Noir is so fucking messy. It's so hard. It's like it's so weird to explain what was up with Black Noir back in the original comic.
My God.
Because in the comic, from if I remember correctly, Black Noir was really more of a, yeah, like that comment said, more of a clone of Homelander that was
Yeah.
just made specifically to keep Homelander himself in check
Mm-hmm.
if he steps out of line from Vought. Of course, they still let him do whatever he wants within the company, but publicly, but he has to come as long as he keeps the public image.
I'm gonna continue reading.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll be interested to hear more about the show as we continue though, because there were a
Mhm.
lot of things being said about Starlight versus the Deep. But let me get through this paragraph first. The other and much more recent setup was the special ball gag Ashley got for him. It made no sense that MM would use this on Oh Father, not knowing it would a mother's milk would use this on Oh Father, not knowing it would stop his super shout. It made even less sense that it would work since Mother's Milk didn't even strap it on Oh Father and simply held on to it. Surely the shout would have just blasted it out of his mouth along with both of Mother's Milk's arms or hands. Besides, wouldn't it have made more sense for Ashley to do this instead of Mother's Milk? If that's the setup, you need a scene where she gets him gagged and depowered. So even the way Oh Father went out was half baked. Can you weigh in on that?
Yes.
That's crazy.
No, no, like this article is really right on the mark about that. The way they killed him off in that one was so rushed and half-assed.
How did they kill
Like
him
I
again?
saw that and they like because they did that and then just skimmed right through, played a little joke at the end and then skimmed right past it to the next scene. They were
Well, we just
really rushing the last episode. Like I'm not joking, they really rushed the last episode.
yeah, we just read how he died. But anyway, you notice how with every bad show, they literally try to cram everything they possibly can into one episode. Like how in Velma, the most salient plot points are crammed into the first 7 minutes of the final episode, and you motherfuckers had ample time to set everything you needed to set up. Like,
Stranger Stranger Things season 5.
yep,
Bro, the
that
boys,
too.
the boys and Stranger Things both have the same pattern of starting off good, having a mid to bad like in between seasons, like seasonal run, and
Mm-hmm.
then the final season just shits the bed.
bruh, never rush the ending. Never, ever, ever rush the ending. Ever. That shit will make or break your entire series, bro. Never rush the ending.
It's funny because like it's like when we think about stories, like okay, can what part of the story can be kind of salvaged through, like can be weaker, but could still be okay, it's weak here, but I could read it and see if it gets better or if it ends good. The ending, you have to have a good ending, or at least a decent enough ending, an ending that makes sense.
You do, bro.
It's like the
And
beginning can make or break because first impressions matter.
mm-hmm,
The ending could, the ending could, a terrible ending could piss off everybody who would spend years of their lives investing in this thing.
exactly, your ending can't make everybody feel like it was worthless to actually tag along with the adventure, bro. It can't. Like Stranger Things, motherfuckers were so mad. Game of Thrones, people were so mad. The Boys. Oh my god, the list is piling, bro. Every popular TV show, it seems like, has just received like a horrible fucking ending.
It's weird. It's like after Breaking Bad, which was a good show with a good end, or like a good end that made sense.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else under after it just starts just dipped in quality, just especially with their final seasons.
No idea why. But Crystal says the reason they do this is because they expect indefinite renewals, and then when they realize it's actually the end game, they have to cram. I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah,
But you would think they
yeah,
would have
it's
an ending prepared. Okay, so they're flying by the seat of their pants, which you should not be. I wouldn't do that for TV, personally. As much, and I'm a pantser. I don't think I would do that for TV, knowing damn well that I have limited time to write a show. Like I only have a contract for, let's say, a season or 2 seasons. I would not. I would not free write that. I wouldn't free write for TV. I wouldn't do that
it's like it's because I think it's because
unless
these
it was
people
my
are
own
so
shit.
used
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think it's because these people are so used to essentially not actually needing to feel the consequence of potential failure
Yeah.
that they can just write whatever they want and waste as much time as they want because the show's gonna make them money
Billion dollar
until they
push-ups.
get the phone call that hey, this is your last contract. Start wrapping things up. I was like, oh shit! Everyone scrambled together, wrap this up, wrap that up.
Stranger Things fell off far before season 5. People just defended it because of sunk cost fallacy. They have no reason to defend it anymore. I mean, the counter example is when you get a Twin Peaks situation where you pay off the original plot and then the studio buys more.
That is the thing with Stranger Things. Yeah, like season one was written damn near standalone,
Mm-hmm.
but then the Netflix obviously told them to keep making more seasons, so they became a bit of a victim of their own failures.
If I'm
Like
being
not their own
honest,
failures, their own success. Their own they became a victim of their own success.
I don't mind shows earning more renewals. That being said, creators should be honest enough with studios to be able to tell them, "Hey, that's pretty much all. That's pretty much all we had in mind for this show. I don't think we need another renewal." You know what I mean? Like, I
That
think
makes
people. Go
because
ahead.
I was gonna say sorry to interrupt. I was gonna say Squid Games feels like it was under that same situation where obviously the first season was meant to be the cap off stone like of everything,
Mm-hmm.
one and done story, but it became so successful that Netflix told them to make another one. And I don't know actually if the creator actually said no, does Netflix just replace him with another creator and tell them to make the next season? Because I feel like that was what would happen.
I've actually never heard of that happening, but it would make sense.
Well, the closest I can think of to that happening was with the Joker 2,
Mm-hmm.
because I think the studio made them basically made the director do the second movie and basically said either I do it or they're gonna make someone else do it
Yeah.
or they're gonna hire someone else to do it.
Okay,
So
that
it might
makes
as well
sense
be
then.
me, and I might as well end it off in a way that pisses off everybody because I didn't
Yeah,
even want
he.
to do this.
Yeah, he trolled and got paid for it.
I wouldn't even say he trolled. I think he just genuinely spited him. He spited the studio and the fan base
Fucking crazy, bro.
because he's so mad that he had to do this when he just wanted to make a ambiguous standalone movie.
Let's talk about Starlight versus the Deep, right? Because I heard V made a video about this, like the way that he died.
Hmm.
Likewise, while it's fitting for Starlight to take down the Deep, the way this happened was puzzling for several reasons. In order to dispatch him, she flies him to a beach. This is A, far from Starlight's power sources, since there doesn't appear to be electricity around, and B, right next to the Deep's power source. She would have no way of knowing that the sea had turned on the Deep, and the sea is always right. If there had been a point where she said, "Hey, you're free to go," and pointed to the ocean, it might have justified her bringing him here, giving him an option to flee, or they could have fought while she was flying, and she could have just accidentally dropped him as they flew over the water. I mean, people have already discussed that there were like different ways to have this resolve itself with him dying in the ocean, but
Uh,
people have also criticized one, his power level in relation to the sea, which he should be stronger than any fish in the ocean, one, and two, how the fish would even know that he's the reason that the oil spill, I think that's what it was, happened, that killed all the fish. Like, how do the fish know that it was him? You know, I've heard people criticize that. But what do you think,
uh,
Zeus?
read the second paragraph and then I'll tell you what I think.
Worse, this pulled Annie out of the fight at the Oval Office, leaving it to just Butcher and Kimiko, and later Ryan when he showed up. This, of course, is where the biggest problems with the series finale occur. Go ahead.
Okay, now I'm gonna talk.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole thing with Starlight and the Deep, one,
Mm-hmm.
the article is right. The article is right, but I feel like it needs to touch on more because the power
It
leveling
does.
in the boys is utter bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
In in season four, I remember they fought the boys crew successfully managed to fight the Deep and Black Noir, the second one
Mm-hmm.
in this show,
Mm-hmm.
second show version. But for some reason, they didn't even kill him in that scene when they obviously they could have. They made a half-ass excuse that it'll take too long to try to find a way to kill him, and Homelander and the others will probably be on the way. I'm like, no, motherfucker, you could have just killed him right then and there. They
They could have
already
jumped the
established in
deep.
the first season that they already established in the first season that even if they're indestructible on the outside, inside they're weak as fuck. You could literally just put a
Mm-hmm.
bullet in their mouth and they'll die.
Right.
So the Deep could have been killed so many times over throughout the show. In fact, I'm mad that A Train didn't even actually have an actual fight with him because they made it a point that after A Train officially turned against Homelander, Deep kept following A Train and his family, which
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why the family keeps moving to places near water. That's what that always fucking got me. But also the fact that A Train he has legit whooped Deep's ass pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
He could have just killed him off himself. It didn't even have to be Starlight. And it would have also made sense because A Train and the Deep have always had beef with each other since the first season.
Yeah.
Because Deep was the biggest ass kisser of the seven. Oh yeah, seriously, that was a whole plot point well, not a whole plot point, but like that was always been a detail of his character that he tries to be cool and like the coolest ass kisser of Homelander because he's the most scared of him. So he tries so desperately to work be in his good graces,
Mm-hmm.
even so going so far as sacrificing his sea well not sacrificing his own sea life brethren to stay in Homelander's good graces.
Oh yeah, that was
Now
another
I don't know.
criticism. Somebody said that he's not even. Somebody said that Deep isn't even dying because of the oil spill. He's supposedly dying because of the octopus he killed at his own residence or some shit, which is something the fish wouldn't know about. Is that true?
No, the deep sea fish, they know that he's the one responsible for the oil spill that killed so many fish.
Okay,
Now that is
but
also kind
why?
of something where like you
Why
could
do
have
they know?
you could have written them knowing that I don't know, maybe it's because the deep sea fish, the ocean read his mind because he does speak to them telepathically. I don't know if
Yeah,
I kind of assumed that they wrote in that the fish read his mind, or like the hive mind of the ocean sort of read his mind as he was trying to save the fish because he did a PSA. Effectively, he did a PSA of the wildlife, of protecting the sea life and whatnot. Typical propaganda stuff. But it was Noir who dumped the oil spill by messing with the pipes,
yeah, but
and the fish sea life
he
blamed the
promoted the. Go ahead.
he promoted the construction of the pipeline plant. So the sea life blamed him for it. Him for it.
What a fucking stupid. That even that is just such a dumbass explanation, like a dumbass way to lose credibility with sea life. Like you're not even responsible for the oil spill, but since you promoted the construction of an oil pipeline, even that's stupid, bro. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Whatever.
And also want to talk about the power level because
Hmm.
Annie throughout the show, she just has basically solar flare when there's a bunch of electricity around her and typical durability and super strength, which is also really weird because I remember I always thought it was like specifically the seven
Hmm.
or specific members of the seven
Yeah.
who were supposed to be bulletproof and all that, but around season four, apparently all of them became bulletproof.
Okay.
They never really clearly established that how that worked
Hmm.
because it felt like all of them could have been, or not all of them, but most of them, you could have been able to punch them in the face and it would have hurt them.
Yeah.
But now after season four, all of them are Luke Cage in terms
Yeah.
of both durability and strength, along with extra powers. And Starlight blasting the deep is so far out of range from what she usually does. It did feel like bullshit.
Hmm. Yeah.
And yeah, she had no way of, and like the article said, she had no way of knowing that the sea life had turned on the deep. So when she blasted him away, even she was surprised that he straight up died in the sea, in the beach.
The writer induced stupidity, bro.
Yeah, and also I really didn't like that too because the whole plan was for the gang to jump Homelander in the Oval Office with Himiko being the secret weapon because she got a power up in the same vein that Soldier Boy did. So she was supposed to be the one to try to match Homelander. Anyways, you can go continue. There's more to say about it, but I want you to read the next part first.
No, I got you. I think we finally found. I think I found the word that V was looking for in his video. He's like, "What is the trope for this?" I don't know what to call it. Like, there's two forms. There's plot-induced stupidity and writer-induced stupidity. Pretty sure that one constitutes writer-induced stupidity. Cause like, I don't even think deep dying is even important for the plot. From what I'm hearing now. Anyway, the final showdown.
Well, it's not that he was super important to the plot, but it's like you kind of expect him to die because he's
Mm,
been present throughout the entire show,
right.
always doing bad stuff, like sabotaging even fellow seven members just to again try to look good for Homelander and always being an obstacle to with the boys crew.
Yeah, wasn't he accused of being a yes man at one point?
No, like literally, even A Train straight up tells him to his face, "I hate the way you kiss Homelander's ass,"
Yeah.
and like he doesn't even really deny it. The only thing he denies is being scared of Homelander.
Hmm.
But, but yeah, keep going.
Okay. The boys make it into the White House, and while Huey and MM take on old father Butcher and Kimiko, take on my bad, I ignored the comma. Take on old father Butcher and Kimiko break into the Oval Office while Homelander gives a super creepy speech to the American public about being God. Oh man, I wonder what the fuck that's in reference to.
I was gonna
At,
say, okay, so for that one, yeah, they really make it a point that
boy.
Homelander really goes unhinged because he has a dream about a fucking super fake looking angel woman appearing in like a daydream of his, telling him that he's destined to be essentially become God and save the world.
Okay.
Which honestly is like Homelander has so many different types of delusions. He's got like the typical like he starts off with the depravity and the rape, and then you later on see that he's got like fractured, almost fractured mirrors, almost split personalities
Mm-hmm.
of himself. One who's like the kind of the more weaker, more vulnerable, insecure one,
Mm-hmm.
and then the one cold stone one that scare- basically scares people. It's like he almost has he almost had a Green Goblin scene essentially,
Yeah.
which was actually pretty cool back in season three, or was that season four? No, I think it was season three when he has that little self talk.
Yeah.
But then in season five, they tacked on a religious thing to him, even though he never really got religious crazy until now. He just played along as oh, I totally like, my Christian American people, even though he himself obviously never cared about that.
I strongly suspect that has something to do with the Twitter post that Trump made in reference to Christians and how he did some stupid shit with iconography and posing as Jesus or something. And I have my suspicions, bro. It just seems too convenient. It's weird. Because think about it, a character never did something, and then now suddenly they're doing it. Like there's no organic escalation or anything. Or he's just suddenly, I'm God. I'm like,
Well,
bro. Yeah.
well, I mean, I will say there is a bit of an escalation because the further the season four and five get, the more you get to see Homelander just really start showing his insecurity at the fact that everyone is not truly worshiping him. He wants to be, the face. He wants to be loved by every single person. He wants to be the face of everything.
Hmm.
Yeah, but
So,
like specifically the angel iconography and shit and the Christianity angle, that part, not the all powerful man comparing himself to the concept of a god. It's like specifically the Christian theological shit, like that context. Like, what was he
well,
doing
yeah,
that
yeah, that
before?
was
Was he doing that before?
okay. In the show, not really. In the comic, I cannot say.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't advise you to go find out either. I'll be honest. But yeah, at first, it's pretty much what he planned on giving, but when he reaches the end of the speech, the line about being their father throws him into a despondent mood. Excuse me. He rambles on. Oh, excuse me. He rambles on about becoming the Lord of Ashes after he kills everyone, living for eternity alone. Into this comes Butcher with his crowbar and a big fight ensues. Only it's not that big of a fight. It's entirely contained to the Oval Office for one thing, and the room itself barely takes any damage. A couple walls get smashed and maybe a desk. Also, Homelander, despite having injected himself with V1, is apparently weaker than ever. His laser eyes no longer cut through his enemies, they just knock them back. His super speed, which was about the same as A Train's, is not speedy enough
That's
to avoid Butcher's tentacles. I don't even think that's true, by the way. I saw the fight between him and A Train. But go ahead.
Yeah, I was just about to say that I wanted to talk about the A Train chase against one. I hate how A Train his speed is so inconsistently scaled too, along with Homelander's, because you had A Train basically copy the Quicksilver slow down time to the music. The fact that him he didn't instantly go after Huey. He went and saved some other people in his path. So then when he
Yeah.
barely gets to saving Huey, he gets scratched by a laser. And I'm like, bro, you could have just gone for himself. You could have just punched Homelander in the face in slow motion. And the fact that Homelander is fast enough, well, enough to keep him in fast enough to keep eyesight of him while chasing him. Yet he doesn't even look towards him in slow motion like Superman does in the, that god awful Justice League movie.
Yeah, the
You could
Flash
have at
is
least kept that
surprised
little
that
bit.
Superman can perceive him. That never happens in the
Yeah,
books.
you could have at least kept that in so you could keep the the
The
power the
menace.
gim yeah. So you can make me believe that, oh yeah, Homelander is fast can at least keep up with A Train enough that
He didn't
hey,
look
yeah, it
like
makes
he
sense.
could. He didn't look like he could because Superman can see speedsters. That motherfucker didn't look like he knew A Train was there at all. And him get
Yeah, and the fact that he kept missing A Train with his lasers, which is shooting faster than he's flying and faster than A Train's running, it was so
yeah,
weird.
it's a laser.
And the only reason that A Train died is just because
Poor
he
writing.
last
Poor writing.
minute last minute trips because he didn't want to run over a bystander. I know that was supposed to be a callback to the first season, but still, like,
It's still stupid because we literally just saw him pull up and have enough time to stand still while everyone's moving in slow motion, but somehow he can't avoid this he narrowly avoids this person. By the way, him getting hit by the lasers was forced too, because like you said, he could have done anything to stop the lasers. He could have done
or he could
anything
have
to
just been
stop it.
fast enough to dodge the laser too. Like, he didn't even have
Right.
to be scratched by it.
Right.
And what gets me about A Train, not just that whole scene in season 5, it's just in general, like they tried to turn him to the good side in season 2.
Mm-hmm.
I remember because Starlight had a friend who was trying to, simply coax him and like, hey, wanna do something about how Homelander be treating you? And then by the end of that episode, that friend gets brutally murdered by Homelander because A Train ratted him out. So you
Damn.
had already done the, oh yeah, we're gonna try to turn A Train good. But when season 4, when MM wants to do it, everyone forgets that Starlight technically tried to do it already and failed.
Yeah.
That's what gets
Because
me
they were
about the whole
killed.
A
They
Train
were killed,
redemption
right?
thing.
They were killed as punishment.
Yeah, the guy who tried to turn the guy who tried to turn A Train, the friend of
Mm-hmm.
Starlight, yeah, he was murdered. Oh, brutally murdered. That's why I'm like, dude, this whole A Train redemption thing doesn't work because you already did it in season 2 and you wasted it.
Yeah, and then he just dies for no reason, really. I feel like he could have got away.
Yeah, and then he could have shown up at the final season and tried to fight Homelander again. And
Yep.
that's another thing with A Train. After when they try to turn him good, he just becomes a Deus Ex Machina. He just conveniently shows up to pull someone out of a situation when he has no way of knowing that what the boys are doing because he tries to stay away from that group.
Who?
A Train.
Oh, so he just pulls up randomly. So that scene where he saves all those people was just
No, no,
random.
no. Wait, there's a scene where he saves Huey from getting found out by when he saves Huey when he's stuck on the rooftop trying to run away from Homelander.
Right. Okay. That.
But he should have had no way of really knowing what was going on there. But he pulls up and saves Huey anyways.
Yeah. That's a telltale sign that the show is not going to get any better when like characters that you know have no knowledge of current events always end up where the plot seems to be occurring. It doesn't make any sense. You know?
He shows up when the plot needs him.
Right. Even though he's not even supposed to know what's going on. Yeah, it's weird.
Like in season 5, at least that made sense because Starlight told him that, hey, we're gonna break Huey, Frenchie, and MM out of prison, and he says no.
That makes sense.
So later on he's gonna show up at the end and save him anyways.
Yeah, he's already been informed of what's happening. That makes way more sense than no
Yeah.
one ever having even so much as a conversation with you about it, and then you just happen to show up. Like that's just, I was in the neighborhood. Like
Yeah.
no, like every time. Anyway,
Also about the
also,
fight with Homelander.
oh,
Oh, sorry.
no, I already read this, but go ahead.
I was gonna say the article is also right about the fight. Homelander, he got oh god, I hate the way he got stronger. So they had a whole spiel about in the plot about this virus that
Mm-hmm.
if that will make Homelander immortal if he takes it. They want to destroy this virus.
Yeah.
Well, they want to destroy this, not virus, antidote. It's an antidote
Mm.
against the super virus.
Yeah.
Soldier Boy wants to get it because he hates Homelander, which for good reason. And even though he's forced to tag along with him and stuff. So they find this guy who used to be one of not Homelander, Soldier Boy's former crewmate back in the Vietnam War and all that.
Mm-hmm.
He gives Soldier Boy the antidote,
Mm-hmm.
and just when you think he's gonna destroy it, Homelander shows up and he gives it to Homelander.
Why?
Because oh my god. Let's see. How do I explain this? The woman that Soldier Boy slept with a few times, but he actually had feelings for her.
Okay.
Who Homeland? Let's see. Who Homelander also basically raped. She. Oh, this is so stupid. She basically would have wanted Soldier Boy to look after Homelander, even after all the shit Homelander did.
Yeah.
So it's a stupid because the woman we loved would have wanted me to help you. I did it for the woman I love situation. Even though
What?
just before Soldier Boy punched Homelander in the face because of what he did. She was that same woman,
Oh
said woman.
my god. Doesn't he hate this guy?
Yes.
I don't want to hear anymore, bro.
It's so I hate that's what I'm saying. I hate the circumstance of how Homelander got it. And you could have easily and the thing is you could have easily rewritten that so that Homelander swoops in at the last minute,
Just takes it by
yoinks the
force.
antidote thing, and then takes off with it.
Just takes it by force, bro. That's I think that's worse than Mark beating Conquest by choking him from the front, bro. That might be worse. That
Oh
that
man,
might be
I haven't even
worse.
caught up with Invincible. I haven't even caught up with Invincible either. Shit.
Don't even worry about it, bro. It's just don't do it. But anyway, yeah,
But in
the
terms of what the article
article.
was saying
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
But in terms of what the article is saying about the fight, yeah, Homelander should have been peak power level at this point.
Yeah.
But he fights pretty sorry. Like, even if he doesn't know how to fight, he should still be flying up, yoinking Butcher to the sky and Kimiko, whatever. The show the episode forgot that he flies a lot.
They forgot all his best powers or weakened them just so he could lose. Excellent. That's how I like my
Is
villains to
they
go out.
they forgot that he's supposed to be buffed
Yeah.
and that he can fly.
Yeah, like the article said he's not fast enough to avoid Butcher's technicals. Right?
Yeah.
It goes on to say while old Homelander could slice Kimiko in half with his laser eyes, now they just knock her down. Maybe the radiation experiments made her stronger in other ways, but that's never really explained. Side note,
Oh yeah,
the thing that go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, Kimiko got power buff because of the radiation exposure the same way Soldier Boy was, except he had the thing is he got radiation exposed from an atom bomb testing. That's how they explained it. So the fact that Kimiko got only thing she got was like a little bit of radiation experimenting trials in a room. She should not even be near the level of like endurability that Soldier Boy is.
Yeah, yeah. But
They
she
only
is
in fact
because
the whole
of
thing
plot.
yeah. But because the plot wants to resolve itself, she's automatically strong enough to hold down
Exactly.
Homelander along with Butcher.
Yeah, exactly.
And what gets me about is that they only just realized that she could do it because um after the radiation thing, she can't even like shoot an atom like atom explode the same way Soldier Boy can when he's like super heated up.
Mm-hmm.
He basically explodes and shoots a beam of basically almost a Godzilla ray, but scaled like just scaled really small.
Yeah, I got you. So she doesn't even have half the efficacy of Soldier Boy yet. Somehow she's still here and able to contend with Homelander and Butcher. And man, that sounds like weak as hell writing. I can see why people
It
were
is.
pissed at this finale. The article gives a side note here too. It says the thing that takes down Homelander isn't the super virus or Soldier Boy or anything we've been following all this time, but rather an experiment Frenchie and Sister Sage completed in the previous episode with absolutely no build up whatsoever. This is bizarre. All I could think at the time was how this subplot needed a lot more time to actually work. Talk about a Deus Ex Machina. Why not have a second vial of V or something that made Kimiko more powerful along with the radiation? At least then it would have tied into the season long quest to get V1. Alternatively, they could have used the super virus or soup virus. I guess that's not a typo. The soup virus to weaken Homelander. It took out Soldier Boy for a few hours. A better final showdown would have looked something like this. The boys arrive at the White House only to see Homelander fly out and head down to where a huge group of his fervent believers have gathered outside the Lincoln Memorial. As they rush after him, they see him go full scorched earth, tearing into the people there with his lasers and unleashing hell. Excuse me. As they rush to stop him, a number of his lackeys get in their way, forcing them to fight lesser soups first, while he massacres the crowd and destroys the monuments and generally goes totally insane. So he's rewriting the finale. Damn.
Honestly, I respect that because the thing with the yeah, because they built up Homelander. They could, especially with him and his Butcher, they have a sort of psychotic deal where he tried to coax Butcher into having a scorched earth deal where, hey,
Yeah.
let's kill everybody and then each other until only one of us is left standing. Everything else can be left to burn.
Yeah.
Butcher, of course, only really wanted to kill Homelander,
Mm-hmm.
but he was also at the same time sort of turning evil, which is also really weird how they handle that. But
I just read something. Oh my god. Let's read the rest of this. Hold up.
all right, yeah, go ahead, read.
Oh, no, I just saw online that. Okay, let me just read this shit, bro.
Go, keep reading, keep reading, keep reading, keep reading.
I can't believe what I'm seeing. Okay. And what about his final moments? He
Wait.
begged. Hmm?
Did you read about Mary and Gen V?
Oh shit, my bad. The boys, but okay. Only thing, one thing leads to another, and all the good guys convene against Homelander. The boys, but also Mary with Gen V and her crew. The following showdown is a desperate fight that takes every single one of them working together. It takes place in the sky, on the ground, in the reflecting pool. The full array of Homelander's V1 level powers are on display, and only with Mary's bloodbending powers and Kimiko's Soldier Boy blast, assuming this had been established over the course of the season rather than the last minute, are they able to stop him. And what about his final moments? He begs and pleads for his life. He snivels and cries. He offers sexual favors. He's as pathetic and weak as you'd expect him to be without powers, and then Butcher sticks a crowbar through his forehead. I didn't really mind this, I just didn't think it was earned in the end. So he offers sexual favors. What?
He basically, yeah, he cried and begged and even said, I'll suck your dick, please, just let me, you know,
That's
that kind of.
crazy. So they've reduced him to a back alley crackhead going through a draw. That's nice. It's really nice, bro. Okay. We should have seen his full madness and absolute power, and only after a genuinely insane fight where all seemed lost should he have broken like this. A part of me also wanted to see him arrested and put on trial rather than killed, but I suppose Butcher had to get his revenge in the end. I'm not gonna lie to you. You, you don't reduce your villains to sniveling cowards who offer head to their enemies, bro. Like that, you don't outgrow that. Could you imagine if Darth Vader did some shit like that? You'd never look at him the same again. you
Yeah.
It's insane, bro. Scattered thoughts. Worth noting again that Huey/Butcher confrontation was great, and Butcher lying to Huey about how he was never going to stop when he was actually taking his finger off the trigger was a really nice redemptive moment for his character. Though I've always thought people were too hard on Butcher, he had to be a hard, morally ambiguous bastard to get the job done. The funeral scene that followed felt kind of cheap by comparison, however. Also, they should have had Huey kill Butcher, but then when he's shot just after he starts to take his finger off the trigger, he reflexively squeezes and releases the virus, and it's all for nothing. All the soups die, dark ending, sure, but mostly just very bad for any future spinoffs. I don't like that they had Terror die in his sleep, or die at all for that matter. It's supposed to be what causes Butcher to take the virus back to Vought Tower, but I think Ryan's rejection could have served that purpose. Terror seemed much too spry and healthy to just suddenly die. Maybe if he died because of Soup's actions, this would have made more sense. Poor Terror. Sister Sage got off way too easy. She's depowered by Chemical and then just goes to Harry Potter World in Florida, all happy as can be.
Yes, that's another thing.
Yeah.
That show basically let her off the hook. She got to be a massive plot device
Mm-hmm.
as that she could be as smart as the script wants her to be without actually earning it.
Is she the
She
Black
basically
Science
built
lady?
up Homelander. Huh?
Is she the Black Science lady?
Yes.
That's exactly why she
She
never died or faced any consequences. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, I was gonna say that she built up Homelander, then turns against him, and then she just gets left off the hook after getting depowered.
Yeah.
The thing is, as soon as I saw her walk out the door, like saying, "Nope, I ain't gonna join y'all at the fight," I knew she was gonna get written off the show. It was so predictable.
Lord. This is a woman who set in motion all sorts of genuine horrors, one of the most evil characters in the show, and she gets exactly what she wanted, or at least a version of what she wanted. She should have had some comeuppance in the end. I mentioned bringing the Gen V characters into the final fight up above, but honestly, they should have been integral characters across the season. Instead, they got a couple lines and were shoved to the side. Mary is one of the most powerful soups in existence, Homelander tier, and Starlight, a pretty low-powered soup as far as we can tell, just tosses her and her friends aside when they needed every bit of help they could get. I mean, if the boys had failed, it's not like Mary or the people they were taking to Canada would have been safe. They really let down those characters and fans. What about Soldier Boy? Did they just forget about him? He's the last V1 soup at this point, and just because he's frozen in Vought Tower doesn't mean he's not a threat. They should have blasted him while they were at it. Did MM just forget his own revenge arc or something? His. Isn't MM the chick? Soups. If you're talking, I can't hear you at all. How much more of these are there? God damn.
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. I disconnected my mic. But I was just gonna say, MM was the black dude, and honestly, even I forgot that he had a revenge arc against Soldier
Bro,
Boy.
I called this. I thought MM meant mother's milk, bro. Why didn't you correct me when I said that shit?
I mean, it is honestly his name never made any sense to me. That's why I didn't really correct you on it because it basically is that. But for some reason, it's a dude. It's a dude's name. I forgot the
Oh,
story behind it. I don't even think the show explained it that well.
I thought mother's milk was a chick, but I think I'm
No,
starting
it's
to
it's a guy.
remember- I think I'm starting to remember that this is the dude who gets his powers from breast milk, which is weird. Really weird.
No, MM doesn't. That guy never got any
No?
powers.
Then what the
No.
fuck is his name? Anyway, never mind.
Anyways, I was gonna say,
The
yeah,
writers
the show,
clearly did it,
the writers forgot about Soldier Boy after he gives Homelander the virus. He just disappears, which sucks because season 3 made it a big deal to try to put him against Homelander, and then when they froze him.
you expect him to come back in season 5, and he does, and then he doesn't actually show up for the final season. He doesn't die. He should have been killed off.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to read the rest of these scattered thoughts. There's a lot of them. Why did they do this?
Honestly, you don't. Honestly, you don't need to because I'm about to start heading out. The place I'm at is closing, so I'm gonna start moving home.
I feel you. I am gonna finish the article and then maybe talk about Subnautica 2 and then, get out of here.
I know I didn't really have enough time to talk about the stuff I really hated about the show, but that's all right.
Nah, we might dedicate another episode to it, because it's gonna be relevant for a
Ah.
while.
Oh well, I appreciate that then.
No problem.
But before I head out, then, if you guys want a story that doesn't hate America as much as these people do, I'm reading my book.
Oh yeah, that's right. You got to show your book again. I'm not prepared. Shit. Hang on.
I sent you the link to my book already in the chat.
Seeds of the Next Century. Yay. Buy his shit.
Yep. Written by me and edited by your host truly.
Yeah, I have an editor's credit for this shit. Which I'm still I'm still trying to wrap my head around.
Well, I mean, of course I would credit you as editor.
I appreciate it. Thanks. Yeah, let me drop the link. I'm going to drop the link in the chat and then pin it so people can see it.
All right. Well, I'm going to start heading out. It's getting late.
Mm-hmm.
Happy to be on your show as usual.
Yeah, man. You're a co-host.
All right. Well, nice seeing you guys. Especially you, Vidge. I haven't seen you in a minute.
Dead for fucking forever.
Yeah. You also feel free to buy my book if you're interested. All right.
Look at that. It's got 5 stars on Amazon.
That's just because of only a few people have actually rated it. I'm looking for more people to give their feedback on it, please.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I'm going to read it from start to finish and probably leave a review on your Amazon page. It's 65.
It feels weird.
Pages.
It feels weird. Feels weird you doing that though.
Maybe.
All right. Well, peace out, guys. Till next time.
Peace out, bro. I was supposed to talk about Sony getting hacked again or there being some kind of vulnerability on the PS5, but I might save that for the next episode because it's still going to be relevant. People are going to be beating Sony's head in for a while, especially since they're doing a bunch of weird shit like increasing the price on PS Plus. Like, you don't even have any fucking games. You expect me to pay even more money for this whack ass subscription? Are you kidding me? Like, what are you doing? Like, you're doing weird shit. Like, what was that thing they did with the downloaded games? Like, it's on a timer, and if you don't connect to the internet in fucking 30 days, your game becomes unplayable until you reconnect to the internet. Like, what are you doing? What the fuck are you doing, Sony? Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on with them at this point, but that's enough about Sony. We're going to talk about Subnautica 2. A lot of weird stuff has been happening with the developers of Subnautica 2. First of all, the EULA for their game is insane, and you waive a bunch of rights, and they tell you that if you make content for the game, it's theirs on top of a bunch of other shit. We'll get into that. But not only is that a part of the controversy, they keep telling their fan base, or they told their fan base, we are not a killing game. Go play Sons of the Forest or something if you want to kill. So, like, you know how people are always saying that those of us who are critical of today's media don't like anything? Like, we're always negative and we just hate everything. This is the treatment we get when we want to support something. Right? The fucking fan base is literally telling them, "Hey, could you add back the ability to kill fish? Could you add back the ability to defend ourselves against these annoying ass fish?" And then they're like, "Go play another game. If you don't like my game, go. If you don't like my game, don't play my game. Go play something else." It's like, what the fuck? Are you kidding? Like, why do so many developers get such a kick out of telling people to fuck off and go do something else, as if they won't do it? Because they will, and you will be all the poorer for it. Your game will fail. Now, I don't know what the sales numbers for Subnautica 2 are, but the publicity for the game has certainly not been fucking good. Oh, what's up, Tyrant Arts? Oh, wait, hey, what are you boys up to? What's good? We're talking about Subnautica 2. We talked about The Boys. We talked about Mixtape and the fucking Mixtape Defense Force. And now we're talking about Subnautica being complete dickheads to their fan base, as well as having a very strict end user license agreement policy, which it's so tragic, right? Because everybody wanted this game to be good. They wanted to support it. They wanted it to give just as many good memories as the first game did. But it seems like the developers are just hell bent on shitting in the mouths of their fans. It's just really annoying. The Boys was pathetic. Yep. Soups just got done telling us. The finale was trash. It was rushed. There's a bunch of loose plot threads that never truly got resolved. Character potential that was wasted. The whole nine. Like, all the telltale signs of a horribly written finale and show. But let's get into this article, because I do want to talk a little bit about Subnautica 2 and what it represents, and how many times we've done this song and dance, right? Them saying this literally made me want to go try Sons of the Forest. I've never played that game. I've heard of it, but shit, I might check it out. Hopefully it has multiplayer. One of the many tough aspects of creating things for public consumption, whether the great works of art of old, or video game news articles, which are the great works of art of the 21st century, is dealing with public feedback. So I feel some sympathy for the Subnautica 2 dev spotted by Games Radar. I don't feel any sympathy for him, because there was a more polite way of conveying that you have no plans on changing something about the game. You don't just tell your customer base to fuck off and go play something else. Like, you have to have respect for your customer base. Like, if they have something, or if they say something or request something that you disagree with, you don't have to be condescending like this person was. I have no sympathy for them, because they didn't have to do all that. They just didn't. And another thing, right? I'm sick of developers. I'm sick of developers deliberately leaving out things people want for some stupid ass political principle like pacifism or veganism or global warming and all that stupid shit. Like, nobody cares, bro. Either give people what they want, or don't fucking complain when they do fuck off and go play Sons of the Forest. Because what's happened in the past? If you don't like my politics, don't buy my book, and then nobody buys your book, and then months later you're fucking crying. Or you make a movie for women, and then you say men don't come see the movie, and then months later they don't, and then you're crying. It happens every single time. You tell your fan base to fuck off, and then they do, and then you act surprised, bro. It's gonna happen. But anyway, I feel no sympathy for him, but moving on. I'll restart from the beginning. So I feel some sympathy for the Subnautica 2 dev spotted by Games Radar, who's rankled a few fans by telling them if violent gameplay is what they're after, they'd be better off playing something else. In response to a player on Discord lamenting the fact that they can't kill anything in Subnautica 2, which, by the way, the reason why people are complaining that you can't kill anything is because everything in the ocean can fuck you up, but you can't do anything about it. That's retarded. It's a survival game. I can't defend myself in a survival game. Like, I'm basically forced into hiding or using stealth when I don't want to do that. I'd much prefer to do what I did in the first Subnautica game and punch a bone shark in the face with my prawn suit to get it to fuck off, or pull out the knife and smack it a couple times to get it to leave me the fuck alone. But, like, what's so wrong with that? Like, most people didn't even, I mean, one of the things that the first game did very well is essentially do a lot of things to let you know that fighting creatures was not really encouraged. That being said, that didn't mean you had no means of defending yourself. You know what I mean? Like, the first game had the perfect formula. Like, the game discouraged you from expending resources to fight large creatures or creatures in general, but at the same time, you weren't out there with your ass out. That's why they gave you the dagger. That's why they gave you the thermal blade. That's why they gave you the prawn suit. That's why they gave you the torpedo bay. But for some odd fucking reason, the game's even more pacifist than the first game. And it's gotten to nonsensical levels. And when the fans try to tell you that, you tell them to go play Sons of the Forest because this isn't a killing game. When I don't even think that's a real argument. Maybe the person on the Discord said, I can't kill anything. But, you know, I don't even think they necessarily need to kill things. I just think they want the fucking annoying ass predator fish to leave. Like, they want to be able to repel the predator fish or all the shit that's attacking them. But the developers aren't giving them any relief for it. But anyway. In response to a player on Discord lamenting the fact they can't kill anything in Subnautica 2, level designer Artyom O'Reilly was pretty blunt. We aren't a killing game. Go play Sons of the Forest or something if you want to kill. I'm going to go ahead and guess that O'Reilly wasn't intending to tell players to go do one, but that's kind of how it came across. I think that's exactly what he meant to say. As a matter of fact, back in the day, companies had like very strict policies about mentioning their competitors around customers or in the company space in general, but these motherfuckers are comfortable with it as if they won't lose their customer base to the competition. I saw that comment, Tyrant. But anyway, how it came across in the comment, and the comment attracted more than a few negative reactions from onlookers. It was not long before Reddit threads spawned from upset fans. Don't expect to kill fish in a future Subnautica 2 patch. You are here to exist on this planet, not to dominate it. I mean, I never got the sense I was meant to dominate the planet in the first game, what with the fucking massive leviathans and extreme environmental factors that were made to kill me. The deep parts of the ocean, I can't even take my vehicles down there. It's dark. I can't see. I'm getting eaten by fish. I'm getting electrocuted. The fucking heat biome, I'm boiling alive. Like, bro, you illustrated the point just fine with everything you did in the first game. So I have no fucking idea. It's almost like this was manufactured for the pushback. It doesn't even make any sense. The game was plenty difficult, and the game did plenty to discourage you from doing anything other than building or making ways to get around the environment and the fauna. Oop. Sorry about that. So again, like, it just seems like them shooting themselves in the foot. Oh, that wasn't even part of the article. That was the you may also like thing. My bad. I thought that was text from the article. It doesn't really do a good job to separate itself from the rest of it. But just to speak on it real quick, since it brought up the fact that there is a mod that lets you kill fish in Subnautica 2, I don't think mods can fix something like this. Like, and I don't think people should lean on mods as an excuse to continue to incentivize bad behavior. Like, I used to hate when people said that back in the day. Oh, you can just mod out that thing you don't want. Oh, you can just mod it in. Yeah, but then you'll leave modders to do the work that developers were supposed to do, and you're still going to end up giving them money for a shit product. I'm just not in the business of doing that. Like, if I end up owning Subnautica 2 in the future, I'm going to get the shit third party. I'm going to get it third party, and I'm not buying it through Steam. I'm not buying it. I'm going to find a way so that the money doesn't get back to the devs. I'm going to. Or at the very least, I'm going to find a way to where I'm not giving money to the devs and I'm giving it to somebody else. Because, like, I just don't believe in rewarding bad behavior. You know what I mean? Because, like, saying you can mod it out is a fucking cop-out. It's not. Why isn't the developer giving me this thing that I want? Why am I having to go to the third party to get it? And you mean to tell me that I'm still going to give them my money? Of course not. That doesn't even make any sense. Why should I? Why should I care that there's a mod that lets me kill the fish? You know, that doesn't solve the problem. Anyway. Perhaps the most material objection to O'Reilly's comment was the fact that players currently have no way to deter aggressive fish from their bases. Fair enough if Unknown Worlds doesn't want to make violence a part of its game. Excuse me. But you have to admit, it's a tad frustrating to be smothered in angry fish you can't do anything about. Yeah, you're essentially forced into the position of being a victim. You know? And that, I'm not even gonna lie, that's just poor fucking game design. Like, you're literally making your game worse in the name of some stupid principles, like personal principles. And it's a way of forcing your principles onto other people. It's not ethical to kill wildlife in a survival game, dude. Yeah, exactly. It sounds ridiculous. It's as ridiculous as it sounds. So let me get this straight. I can be vored by leviathans and chomped on to death by the other lower non-leviathan predator fish, but I can't bonk them on the head to get them to fuck off. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't even have to kill half the fish you attacked in Subnautica to get them to leave you alone. You just had to damage them. That's it. But anyway. But fear not, O'Reilly swung back to assure players that's not meant to happen, and that'll be fixed in a future update too. Will it? I'm pretty sure they released some sort of apology letter, but they still reinforced that they won't be changing the formula of the game. But anyway, you asked me, I do think it's nice for a game to offer the fantasy of existing with nature rather than violently dominating it. Well, here's the thing. I think player freedom should be emphasized here because it's a survival game. If I want to dominate nature, if I want to do a fucking challenge run in which I kill every fish in the game, I should have the freedom to do that. It's my game and I paid the money for it. And if you're not going to allow me to do that, then I'm just not going to buy your game. Because they're making it seem like people just have this power fantasy. Oh, I want to kill all the fish because it makes me feel good. And I'm this kind of... It's just stupid. It's a video game and people want to experience it the way it's meant to be experienced. Like, every fish in the game should be killable because it just makes sense. I can already catch, cook, and eat the fish. Why the fuck wouldn't I be able to kill them? Like, you have to ignore the logic your game already upholds in order to prop up this principle. So I can cook, eat, catch, and kill the fish for food, but I can't kill them in self-defense. It doesn't even make sense. You might say that nature contains plenty of violence already, which is fair, but all nature outside of humanity that I'm aware of also lacks the sapience to abstain from that arrangement. Yeah. Yeah, it does. We're the only fucking species with the problem of idiots trying to tell us that it's wrong to defend ourselves from violent predators. I want you to know that that's a privilege that animals have. It's a privilege that animals have to not have to deal with fucking idiots of their species telling them it's wrong to kill things that are trying to kill you. That is a luxury that we do not have as human beings. Because there's always some bleeding heart retard telling us that killing the animal that is trying to eat us is wrong. Like the developers of Subnautica 2. And I think little kerfuffles like this are just the price you pay for having this kind of immediate interface between devs and fans. And hey, you get nice moments too. In response to another fan, a little later on, thanking the team for the game, O'Reilly replied, "I'm glad you are enjoying the world we built and love. We want to keep updating and giving you more and more until 1.0. Yeah, you want to keep giving them more and more, except the ability to kill the fish. That was present in the first game. People aren't even asking you to make killing fish easier. As a matter of fact, a lot of people agree that's what made the first game so great, that it was difficult to kill the more dangerous wildlife. That's what made it so triumphant when you did finally kill the Reaper Leviathan or the Ghost Leviathan. Is there another Leviathan that I'm forgetting about? That's dangerous. Or a Warper. The Warper's not a Leviathan, but it's another aggressive enemy. But that was the entire point. I don't think people would want you to make it easier to kill the wildlife, because the entire point is that this is a foreign ocean planet and that it probably shouldn't be that very easy to kill them, especially with the subplot of there being no guns, which, again, people would have stuck to the headcanon that there's no guns because the corpos don't want you to arm yourselves as a part of the game's lore. But apparently, there's no guns in the game because they're anti-gun. I really wish they would have kept their fucking mouth shut about that. Because it really does ruin a part of the story that could have made the game a lot more interesting, because it was already carrying a lot of dystopian themes of corporatism and debt slavery. But, you know, instead of it being some cool lore reason, oh, there's no guns in the game because they're anti-gun. Fucking lame. But anyway, I'm not gonna read the 49 comments because I'm not trying to be here much longer. I'm gonna read the EULA article and then I think I'm gonna wrap it up. Subnautica 2's end user license agreement is so severe that even this news story breaks it. Sorry, Crafton, I'm a bad boy. Subnautica 2 is now out in early access, and despite all the drama preceding it, so much drama, the game itself is actually great. Hooray! But hold on a second. Because publisher Crafton is not done trying to shoot itself in the foot, we've now got some post-launch drama to enjoy. And that's the thing, right? That's the thing. People seem to agree that Subnautica 2 is actually a good game, right? But they're ruining it. They're fucking ruining it by shitting on their fan base, not giving them what they want, and having having end user license agreements that are as dystopian as some of the things found in their game. It's so weird. Like I said, we get told all the time, "Oh, you don't like anything. You're so negative." And the few times we actually want to enjoy something, we don't get to because somebody's too busy trying to suck all the fun out of it. You can't fucking have it both ways. You can't. Like, we're actively trying to enjoy something, and you can't just let us. There always has to be something else. Always. You can't just make a good game and let people enjoy it. You have to put stupid shit in your end user license agreement that says, "Oh, by the way, if you make a mod, we own it. It's the property of the game." Stupid. Or it's the property of the game studio. It's stupid. Oh, man. Did I read this already? We've now got some post-launch drama to enjoy, courtesy of Subnautica 2's ridiculously severe EULA. Now, EULAs often have weird stipulations, frequently serving as a reminder that we don't technically own our games outright. We've just purchased a license. You're so negative, dude. Do you like anything? Exactly. That's what you get hit with all the time. Instead of admitting that most things are shit and most everything these days is shit, we're always negative and we don't like anything. Except for Crimson Desert, Elden Ring, Subnautica 2, Silk Song. Like, get the fuck out of here. Space Marine 2. Like, what are you talking about, bro? The new Resident Evil game, which personally I think is shit, but people liked it for the most part. So, like, what do you mean? Like, okay. We don't like anything. That is so untrue that there's some games that come out that half of us like and half of us don't like, such as the Resident Evil 4 remake and Hogwarts Legacy and Resident Evil Requiem and the God of War games, the movie ones, the 2018 and Ragnarok. Like, what are you talking about? We don't like anything. It's so fucking stupid. And they treat it like it's a monolith when it's not. I'm pretty sure people like Borderlands 4 as well, even though Gearbox is another company that has weird end-user license agreements and use Denuvo and stuff. But anyway, you see the fucking point. You see the point. Even when we're trying to like something, nobody will let us. Like either the company or some idiots screeching about something that's in the game that they don't want us to enjoy. But anyway. This means, for instance, if you die and try to bequeath your Steam account to a family member, you're out of luck. I have to read about that later for my own personal documentation. Even with that in mind, there's some wild stuff in the Subnautica 2 EULA with a bunch of the worst offenders collected by Reddit user Sick Poison on the Stop Killing Games subreddit. Subnautica 2 Chief says Crafton is still messing with him. Oh shit, I got tricked again. My bad. They really need to put this shit in a different font or something. Put some hyperlinks up here so that I know that this is not a part of the article. Because that shit it blends in, dude. I've already breached the agreement several times myself, even just in this article. For instance, by poking fun at this overbearing EULA by the broad language it uses, I am arguably breaching the part of the agreement that says I cannot harm the reputation of company or affiliates. Harm the reputation of company, our affiliates, our service providers, or licensors, or the reputation of the game, the documentation, or the service. What? So leaving a Steam review that says the game has a severe EULA is technically harming the reputation of the game. Are you fucking serious? I'm triple not buying this shit. Cause actually, I know I said earlier that if I own this in the future, I get it third party, but that was me speaking and forgetting about the end user license agreement. I can never own this shit because I would never agree to this stupid ass end user license agreement. There's people trying to trivialize this, by the way, saying that, oh, it'll never hold up in court, and what else do they fucking say? You shouldn't worry about it because it's not enforceable. That's not the fucking point. That's not the point. Why would I want to reinforce and reward bad behavior? Because EULA, because allowing a company to take your money when they have it in their head that they can make an EULA this severe is only, doing what I just said, rewarding bad behavior. Like, why would you incentivize that? It speaks to more than just the EULA itself, because if you think you can do this, what else do you think you can do as far as the end user experience is concerned with the game? They already put shit in there saying that, oh, if you make a mod, we own it. Like, no, what are you talking about? If our autoplay video shows any clips of Subnautica that we've uploaded, this news story is also in breach of this part. Any gameplay video must include the following prominent disclaimer either at the beginning of the video or if live streaming, near the video in a visible font. This video is subject to the game's terms of service and was not endorsed or sponsored by Crafton Inc. So we just... this is stupid as hell. Who the fuck assumes that somebody playing a video game on stream is sponsored by that company? I don't think I've ever seen that happen. We may terminate the limited license granted to you to create, distribute, or otherwise make available a gameplay video in our sole discretion without notice or liability to you. What? Some players have taken this section to mean that the same disclaimer needs to be included on images as well, but this seems to just be a misunderstanding stemming from the clause's mention of images in the context of them appearing along with music, sound effects, and other assets in live or recorded videos. It looks like I'm also breaking one of the clauses right this very second because I fired up the game while my VPN is active, and that's naughty as well, apparently. Per the EULA, I cannot use IP proxying or other methods to disguise the location of your use or device, whether to circumvent geographical restrictions on the use of the game, the documentation or services, or for any other purpose or in a way that violates these terms. My VPN is frequently on while I'm at work so I can check game prices and deals in different regions, and I use it outside of work as well. I've never used it to circumvent any restrictions in Subnautica 2 because it's readily available in the UK. But I guess that doesn't matter because the clause includes any other purpose, which I suppose covers I forgot to turn it off. Then there's the clause that says I can't use or permit the use of the game on more than one device at the same time without purchasing a separate additional license from Crafton. Can I still have it installed on multiple devices? Does streaming it from my PC to my Steam Deck or my Shield TV count as using it on multiple devices at the same time? It's a very broad clause, which is a bit of a theme in this EULA. Subnautica 2 has sold 2 million copies in 12 hours with 9 times the players as the first. And at this point, I figured that Crafton CEO was already on. Oh shit, my bad. I misread that. I thought that said they lost 2 million copies as in like refunds, but they sold 2 million copies in 12 hours. Okay. I want to be happy for that, but again, they're doing everything in their power to ruin any hope I have for this game. What else have we got? Oh yeah, here's a good one. And by good, I mean broad, confusing, and extreme. The EULA states that you cannot engage in acts prohibited by applicable laws or generally unacceptable by social norms. What the fuck does that even mean? You cannot engage in acts prohibited by applicable laws or generally unacceptable by social norms. What? The other night, I left a sea slug on the floor in my base to see if it would die because it was outside of its natural habitat. Is that animal cruelty? I think society would consider that not normal. Oh dear. What? And you're not allowed to post spam. Trolling a friend during your underwater adventure. Crafton might take the game away from you. But don't worry, it looks like Crafton could do this at any time and for any reason. Wow. I didn't even know it was this bad. Like, I read the separate EULA bullet points, but I never sat down and interpreted what each of them mean. I just kind of read them and intuitively knew they were shit, but I didn't know it was this bad. Because when you hold it up to actual scrutiny and you like examine the logic, it really is that bad. This really just seems like fun police shit when you really get down to it. Like trolling a friend during your underwater adventure. Like simple trolling can end up having them take the game away from you. That's fucking... So you mean to tell... Wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that I'm paying you to agree to have the power for you to take my shit away from me. So I'm giving you my money, and then you're asking me that I can't play the thing I paid for until I agree to these terms, which in those terms, you tell me that I can have or trigger an effect that gives you the right to take away my merchandise that I paid for. That's fucking stupid. I'm paying you for the privilege of playing your game. I'm paying you for the privilege of not only playing your game, but paying you for the privilege of having me sign a contract in which you can be granted the power to take it away from. That's stupid. That's stupid. I don't say this often, but do not support this shit, please. Please don't. I don't care if anything in the EULA is enforceable or not. The fact that they have the brass pendulous balls to even suggest that they can do this to you is enough that you should not or ever support it. Ever. It's worth noting that a lot of the contents of this EULA are boilerplate, even the egregious stuff. This is a legal team ticking boxes, and EULAs aren't automatically enforceable. I don't really care. Though this never stops them being full of things that would never pass muster in a court of law. Also important to note, Unknown Worlds isn't responsible for this EULA. This is Krafton's doing. Over on the Subnautica Discord, animation programmer Sam Dark addressed some of the community's concerns regarding the EULA, stating, "We will obviously never take any action against any player playing the game, streaming it on Twitch or YouTube or in Discord to friends. You can play on Linux with Proton, we're Steam Deck verified. We have nothing that runs outside of the game EXE, and we have someone looking into the EULA. Well, then I'll buy the game once you get that shit fixed. And no time before. And you better make a fucking announcement. Because here's the thing. I'm not accepting this shit. I don't care if you're not responsible. That's a cop-out to me, bro. You should be watching every single wing of the process of releasing this game, bro. Somebody who's not in charge or somebody who's not responsible for the EULA should still be reviewing it. There should still be somebody over there reading that shit and tapping the dude on the shoulder who is trying to greenlight the shit and going, hey, we can't have this shit go out. There should be some checks and balances. So if it's true that they're going to revise this end user license agreement, that's fantastic. I might still play the game even with the stupid ass principle of not wanting you to kill the fish or whatever. Cuz like while I disagree with somebody, essentially forcing their principles on you via a video game, I think I can deal with that. I think I can sort of kind of deal with that because it is their creative vision. The thing I can't deal with is disrespecting the customer base. That's what I can't deal with. But if they actually come around and try to make changes that people want with the game, maybe I'll end up supporting it. But only if they actually do what people are asking for. And again, no time before that. Like, if they end up pulling a fucking Sonic movie on this shit, all right, I'll buy it. Because then it shows that you actually listened and delivered what people asked for. So, I can always forgive that. But I'm still going to wait, though, because they might pull a bait and switch. That's always a possibility. You're also welcome to mod the game as long as you follow the rules Danya shared a while back about not selling the mods, etc. No one's ever going to follow that. People are still going to sell mods, bro. People are going to sell mods. This was in direct response to a user worried about the video clause as well as clauses regarding mod creation. Excuse me. And the EULA giving Krafton the right to remotely access game software residing on your device. EULAs get changed, of course, and Krafton even notes that the terms of the agreement can change at any time, which, yes, makes it hard to know if you're in breach of a clause. Yeah, that's why EULAs are so stupid. If they can change at any time, I'll never know when I'm breaking the rules. Exactly what you said. That's why it's so hard to stay within YouTube's terms of service, because they can just say you broke a rule whenever it's convenient for them or when they have it out for you. It's just weird. Or maybe it's by design. So we might see some cuts and clarifications coming up. Frankly, Krafton could use a PR win right now. They really could. While Subnautica 2 is already a huge success, the messy legal battle has made the publisher look extremely foolish, particularly when it came to light that Krafton's CEO regularly uses ChatGPT and that he'd used it to try and find a way to get out of paying a bonus to Unknown World studio heads. Anyway, the drama continues. So that's the end of the controversy behind Subnautica 2. Again, another example of a game people were extremely hyped for and wanted to see do well. I guess there were 3 games so far. I can't remember when Silksong came out. I want to say it came out this year. I want to say that, yeah, I think Silksong did come out in 2026. I think this is like the 3rd game people were really excited for and wanted to see do well. There was Silksong. What else was there? Silksong, Crimson Desert, and now Subnautica 2. I think those were like 3 games I knew for sure people were anticipating and really wanted to support. So, yeah. And it's just annoying, heartbreaking, whatever you want to say, to see a developer do everything in their fucking power to not let you just enjoy a fucking video game. Like, there always has to be something. Always. It's just so fucking annoying. Somebody has to fuck something up somewhere. You can't just enjoy something, bro. It's so annoying. But yeah. That's pretty much all I got for tonight as far as topics. Well, I guess I had the Sony thing, but it's getting late, and I'll cover it next time. Yeah, because Sony has a bunch of vulnerabilities. Sony is getting hacked easily. PS5 security shit and all that. But yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna end it right now. I appreciate y'all. They're not getting a dime out of me. I don't blame you. Oh, Shinobi Art of Vengeance was another one people liked. Oh, Silk Song was released in 2025. Damn. The fuck? That was last year. But still, though, within the last couple of years, I still think I'm right that was like a game that people really anticipated and wanted to do good. When it came out, finally, it broke every fucking online store. So that's definitely on the list. For sure.
I didn't know that it did that well.
Yeah, it broke the PS Store, the Xbox Store, Steam, the Epic Store, which nobody buys games on that shit. So the only store it didn't break day one was GOG, because nobody was buying it on GOG.
I see.
But yeah, any passing comments before we sign off? Yeah, time flies. It does. It does fly. You got anything to say, dude?
Nah, not really, man.
No problem. Well, it was still good to have you on again, bro. It's been a long time. It's been a long time.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and if there's any topics you actually want to talk about involving entertainment, you can bring them up and we can have you on again. It's all good.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, man. But that's gonna be it for tonight's episode of the Monkey's Paw, episode 56. Soup's already left, but me and Vidra are about to sign off, and we'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Peace, everybody.